Gnawing fetus said MILF check.
Lone Syndicate said second MILF check.
I'm here. We're good. Everything's okay. I should probably mention that before I left. We're okay. I just had to get my drink and I had to use the washroom. Anyways. Wake up. It's a day. It's Saturday. Gang. We will be probably reacting to something probably really quick. I do have to do more Withering Waves, unfortunately. I forgot I think we're I have like 2 quests more, like 2 missions more, and then we're getting the weapon. And we stopped right when that happens, and I feel like we've done so much at this point, we're fucking committed. So yeah, but we'll do that later in the stream. Maybe at like a tail end. Also give us an excuse to burn some resin and such. Also, dude, I've seen Trigger's gameplay. Also, this is Cat's gameplay he just gave me, and then we got Fluff's gameplay to watch the background, and then we got to make a choice on what game we're streaming on Monday. What VR game we're streaming on Monday. But yes, how's y'all's day been? Hopefully good. We got Cat up in here. Everyone doing the MILF checks. Of course, hopefully TTS is working.
Catman 11,234 said this boss was one of my favorites to fight.
Okay. Yeah, this shit looks too much. It's too much. I watched it. There's like these guys popping off on YouTube who's playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, and he's like killing 70 people or something. He's using like 3D or AI art to make thumbnails. Good job, boyo. It's really helpful. Anyways, but I'm watching that gameplay, and it looks like complicated, but also not. Like, I feel like there's some games that are really front heavy, where like as long as you just know these like 3 mechanics, you can kind of get by. This is the shit where it looks like there's fucking 18 mechanics. I'm just like, ah. But I bet that was some bitch character to beat. Also, man, that's what I like about Dark Souls, is when you fight in something, it's not a guy. It's like, you're a human, and there's like a giant space entity, Cthulhu monster, and you're still out here ripping them apart with a giant sword, etc. But when you're fighting another guy, it's just like, alright. It's a little less spicy, cool, etc. Except for that motherfucker in Bloodborne, the one that was in the graveyard. He was, I think he was a not a vampire, werewolf, some shit. But yes. Ooh. Oh man, dude, I got a fucking cold sore in my mouth. I keep forgetting to put like gargle salt water or whatever it is. And it's bad. Oh. Cat says, a final episode of Solo. I thought it was already a final episode. Dropping
Catman
today.
11,234 said, why so tired? How's your daub?
Why so tired? How's your day? How my day? My day was pretty good. How about you, Cat? My day was pretty good. Oh, dude, I did a lot of shit this weekend, thankfully. And it sucks because I kind of, yes, I also would like to do a lot of stuff next weekend, but we shall see whilst we're doing streaming stuff. It might be just more like tighter streams next week. So we're going to be streaming every day next week, except for Sunday, of course. But we're going to be doing VR, so I don't want to, like, make gas myself out. We also might do, like, there will probably a pivot if I'm starting to fucking get eviscerated. Because it happens when you're doing nonstop VR. And you're exercising, which I will be. Yeah. So, yeah. But as far as my day, I was reviewing the last, not really the last chunk of my book, but probably the last chunk of my book that I'm reading. And then it's like a businessy book that I'm like taking notes on and trying to study. So I'm doing that, and that's almost done, if not kind of done. I could stop right now, but I kind of want to review
Lone
all of my
Syndicate
notes
said,
rather
"Grin,
than just a
say
couple.
that to Melina Blade of Mikella, the best humanoid boss in all Soulsborne
Yeah, but
games."
that's not human though. That's not a human character. She spawns like fucking like vine wings or something. You know, like yeah. That's not human in any. Also, she's like fucking 80 feet tall, etc. She's like a big ass lady, you know, and she got robot arms. Humanoid is not the same as human. I feel like, you know, I'm saying humanoids are up for game, but a human, like you're fighting a guy, even like a big guy, like he's kind of a taller gent holding a big ass sword, probably impossible to actually wield. But hey, is that like a wooden sword? It must be like a training thing. That's cute. I don't mean cute as a demeaning way. I mean like cute as like it's kind of fun. They're like, yeah, let's give him this giant sword that if it hit you would probably break a bone, or a wooden weapon which acts as just like a blunt bat. But sure. It's a day indeed. I am slightly hungover. Ooh, how was the party, cat? How was the fucking party? Also, Nong says, so I'm bored in Monster Hunter 5. I'm about to say, I thought it was about time. We lost Nong a little bit. Not like in spirit. Nong was always here, I think, for like a lot of the streams. But Nong's presence, which I greatly appreciate.
Fan, Tilda said Warframe's new fight is amazing.
Ooh.
Also, I pulled Verisa in Genshin recently.
Who is this? Is this the one with the horns? Man, they still got character design on lock on Genshin. Very cool looking characters. I refuse to look at that game, even though because I'm worried it's going to suck me back in. I can't have enough three. I have 3 gacha games. I have 2. The only other gacha game I might accept is like the GTA gacha game, which just sounds fun. Like just a really like fun time.
Lone Syndicate said, I have been doing Woowa story, haven't finished, and sad to say that you don't get to go on a boat ride with Cantarella.
Oh, you don't? It automatically pivots and says no? Oh. Do you know, Lone, did you complete the entire story? So like, I stopped right as we were like she was like telling us to do something. I still have like one quest to do, or like I still have a quest, the main quest thing to do. If I continue, will I eventually get the sword or no? Because I did people said like, yeah, there's a sword that the main story gives you, and I just don't know if like there's like 16 more arcs for us to get the sword, or if it's just like, no, you're basically done. You just gotta go talk to the lady, and she's like, here's the sword. And I just didn't do that last part. And yes, also, dude, I this whole morning with like my free time, because I review my book, then I get kind of heavily burnt out, and then I watch two videos, something like that, and then I go back to the book. But I was watching a video on Trigger. I was watching a video on Arrow Rover. Apparently, Arrow Rover is like really shitty, despite his numbers are like I think easier to attain. But like they're with max investment, like the Reaper Rover, whatever his name is, the Dark Havoc Rover is potentially better if you max invest him or something like that. But regardless, Arrow Rover is like a character that people are speculating is going to be enabled either by like the Flute Lady or by the main big Archon, because he has something called like he'll basically he absorbs all debuffs. And then he applies like a corrosion, like it builds up his damage or something like that. So there's no character that like really applies debuffs in the game yet, which there's thinking that the Arrow Rover or the Arrow Goddess Lady, the tiny Kayalella, the elf lady, tiny elf.
Varessa looks dope. Was watching a video on her. She's like this luchador wrestler cow lady.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. She's very colorful looking, because that's what I see in the thumbnail. Yeah, thick pink Sonic, the one with the horns. The thick pink Sonic is a hell of a image. Dude, the internet's ruined me with like Sonic and anything. It's just always like fucking cursed imagery in the head. Kind of like My Little Pony. If you've been on the internet long enough, you're like, this is awful. This shouldn't have existed. Anyways, it was made for kids. Anyways, Alone says versus. Oh, I finally watched a video breaking down the other character. We're kind of all over the place with our gacha games, but Zenless, the like girl who has like a little jet propelled skirt. She's like the tiny vampire lady. I was watching a video on how she works, and it just seems like she's like a really good Havoc buffer, which has like a poison stat, and then she like absorbs all of like the mixing, like the what is it called? Like when you have in Zenless, you have 2 elements they mix, they create like a different thing, like I forget what the word's called, but basically they mix together. She like collects the detonation mixes, and then I think poisons people as well. Anyways, regardless, she kind of is fitting my team. But dude, it sucks, man, because I wish I had more money. That's kind of like everybody, I feel like. But I'm looking at Trigger, man, and Trigger looks like a character that I want, but don't need. Yeah, man, it's tough because Trigger like is exactly the kind of character that I want from both Genshin and Zenless, which is I want more characters like Shincho, Changli, characters that like just create like a fun explosion of soup and damage on the screen, rather than like in a lot of cases with Withering Waves, it's like, but wait, this character, when you switch to them, they give you a buff that increases your damage, and it's just like that's the most boring thing ever, man. What if I summon a character and then they're on field with me? Like that's something that Zenless is doing. That's awesome. Triggers are like fucking
Lone
on
Syndicate
bill with
said
you.
Grin. I said I didn't finish the story,
Oh.
so not sure. Also, Trigger looks insane, and yeah, Vivian looks dope. And what you are referring to is Disorder,
Yes.
a mix of two anomalies.
Disorder. So apparently Vivian like absorbs disorder apparently, and I just don't understand. It does seem like she, in hindsight, she seems like a more applicable Bernice in a way, but simultaneously also kind of feels like she's less flashy than Bernice. Like Bernice is kind of cool because you just see like pop, like 3K, 6K, 3K, 6K, or 2K. When you're like just beating the shit out of somebody. With her, I don't know if it's gonna feel that way. It might feel like significantly delayed, where it's like a little bit of damage, a little bit of damage, a little bit of damage, bah, and like a big pop, you know. Yeah. Ooh, I got heartburn. But heartburn, I don't have heartburn. I got a bubble in my chest. Got like a burp, but I can't like get it out of me. Anyways, also, Kat says, my day has been short. I've been up for maybe 4 hours. Hey, why? Hangover slightly. I had some bacon and bagel. Exited to play Baldur's Gate 3. My buddy, oh, that's fun. Baldur's Gate 3 and your buddies is gonna be huge, but goddamn, so you're hungover, hungry. I'm not as hungry anymore, and not well rested. Brutal. What a terrible combination. Hangover and also not a lot of rest. Your body's like, why? Go back to bed. Also, what's good, Bolty? Warframe has a new update.
Lone Syndicate said Vivian be flying around and shit, looks very flashy in my opinion. Can't wait to pair her with Miyabi, since about 80% of the time when an enemy is ice weak, they are ether weak as well.
Okay, I was gonna say for you, Lone, though, like, would you like, to me, when I see Trigger looks like the most flashy character we've ever seen in the game, and she can apply to anybody. Like if you activate her E skill, she has like these 6 like shots essentially back to back, which surely would like hit her because she's like shooting through like this. So you think it would like shoot herself. Anyways, maybe she's just like doing weird shit. Anyways, point is, I find her really flashy. I haven't seen I even watched like the Vivian gameplay that you guys showed me on Discord. Like you're like, hey, there's no character gameplay, like leaks. And I didn't see like any of the flashiness. I like, besides her like doing some like weird like dodge stuff, but like not near like Trigger, you know. There's hell even Bernice, where she's like sitting there doing spirals and like just fucking flame awning all around her is crazy. But maybe those effects aren't applied into the game, or maybe I just didn't see the Vivian be played as like a passive damage support kind of thing. But yes. Party was fun. Cat says party was fun. I was excited to see some old friends I haven't seen in a while. Had just enough drinks to have fun, but not to black the fuck out. That's good. But you still got hangover. I'm curious, Kat, are you good with alcohol or no? Like, how many beers can you have before you start feeling like tipsy? Not tipsy, like buzzed, I guess. Nog says, my body is screaming at me to catch up on sleep, but sleep weak, says a man who is weak. Okay, I love that saying. Sleep is for the weak. Meanwhile, your ass is fucking made of paper mache. Oh man, what do you call it? What do you call it? Nog, you finally gotten to the point where you've like devoured this game, Monster Hunter Wilds. Or not Wilds, whatever this new one's called. Maybe it's Wilds. I forget what it's called.
Lone Syndicate said Trigger, I will say, is a continuation of the tread where a character in a class requires a stat that class normally don't need, aka Miyabi being a crit anomaly or season-eating impact.
Yeah, I don't hate when Caesar needs impact because it's still useful to have something. especially
McFlufferton
impact.
said
What's
without
about-
Mindscape or especially her W engine, Trigger will be much like Sub M6 Pulchra, made solely for Sanbi. Although her signature engine appears to be of greater priority than her M1.
Yeah, that's what I heard people saying. People said like if you want to have good damage with Trigger, her weapon is quite nice. Or like yeah, but man, it sucks because like I just think she looks so fun. Like she's just a character that looks like again, it's like it's a stupid thing to say, but like you know I don't always feel this way. I don't always feel like you're like shit, I wish I had more money. Usually I'm like I can find the fun and like my hobbies aren't really expensive. Like a video game, you spend $6 once and then you're like good for fucking months if you play it right, or even gacha games, you don't need to pay anything but if you want to. If anything, it's like $10 a month, which is crazy. But this is one of those times where I was like, dang, Also, Withering Waves makes me like. First of all, I'm enjoying the share of the Withering Waves update. But it does make me like. I'm a person that always. Actually, this is a question I wanted to ask the chat. This is something I was thinking about when I was trying to get some sleep last night, but very weird question, so I'm sure no one will answer it. But but if you could only give yourself like one sin, like the 7 deadly sins, that kind of thing, lust or wrath or anything like that, what would be the one that like what would be the one that you most say is like yours essentially? If you had to pick kind of a situation, like you had to pick a 7th deadly sin, what would be your sin that you would personally, after reflection on yourself, be like you have? Without mindscapes, or especially that, depending. Also, Kat says, depending on how quickly I've consumed them, 6 in an hour, and I'm buzzed. But I've had 7 over 4 hours, and I was just having a time. I usually don't have major hangovers, but if you forget to drink water, yeah. Is there there's a specifically there was an alcohol that had, or beer, sorry, that had like high water content, so that you're able to kind of do that. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that guy's for extra pint. Okay, Bodhi says sloth. I'm a procrastinating master. Sloth for sure, says Fluff as well. Okay, so this is what I was thinking about. And maybe this is like in too much philosophy, weird brain nonsense thought. But for me, did I loop this just to make sure? No, I did not. But basically, I was thinking about this yesterday, and if I could give myself any sin, I think for me, I'm curious. This is actually maybe fucking bad, but what would be the sin that you think I would most describe me? Like if I had to choose, which one do you think would be the one that I would go with? Gluttony or sloth? Okay, I'm really curious about it because that's funny you mentioned gluttony, because I think this is the thing I was trying to parse out in my head, because I think a lot of the 7 deadly sins, when I think about because again I think the 7 deadly sins are basically made as like a kind of an analogy for the right amount of this. So like the right amount of lust can actually be helpful, but if you have too much, then you can just become like a sex addict and your whole life could fall apart and you're like cheating on your partner constantly and it's a mess. So like things like lust to me always made a lot of sense. But then there were weird ones that like just aren't as clear of like, aren't these two very similar? And I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I would want to be gluttony, but that's not going to happen because I procrastinate too much.
Lone Syndicate said gluttony, probably not necessarily food, but for things like knowledge and learning new things.
Okay, so this is something I thought was really interesting. So, I'd say greed and sloth for myself. Okay, that's awesome. I really appreciate everyone telling me, because I think this is really fun to think about. Even if I'm not heavily religious, but I think it's fun to use these as like things to foreshadow and think about yourself. Pride, not gonna lie. Okay, I can only pick like 1 or 2. Okay. But that's not true. Yeah, most people have aspects of all of these things to them for sure. But anyways, for me, the one that I think best describes me is the one thing that comes to mind is greed. Now I know that's kind of surprising because I tend not to spend, etc. These kind of things. But for me, and I was trying to think about this, but I believe that because I always got confused by aren't greed and gluttony really similar? Like why what's the differentiating factor there? And to me, I think I define greed by the desire for pursuit. So in pursuit of something. So it's not about necessarily like wanting more. It's about nothing being enough and you always having to seek more. So the pursuit of more to me is the definition of greed. So that's something that, like, for me, if you have just the right amount of this cadence, it'll keep you moving forward and constantly trying to strive for more. But it also makes you sometimes hate yourself because you're never as much as you would have hoped. You're always like one step behind. You're never satisfied, and you're always like beating yourself up because you're not going to amount to anything, and this kind of thing. So if I ever had one of those things, it's that. But then I started thinking about, okay, well then what would be gluttony? And to me, gluttony is what was the word? I was thinking about when I was going to sleep, and I was like, to me, there's like certain words that when you hear it, you're like, that's exactly it. And I thought of it, and I thought it was indulgence. That was to me a gluttony, specifically in regards to what you have in your external surroundings. So for me, one problem I've never had, if like there's ever a sin I don't think I have a lot of, it's gluttony. Because I determine, and maybe this is wrong, I determine gluttony to be an aspect of whatever you have around you, you indulge in and you consume. So that doesn't even have, that can be like playing video games. Maybe like you end up playing video games for like fucking 20 hours, 30 hours, like just go crazy. Maybe it's like instead of having a little bit of food, you instead have a shit ton of food. And again, I think it has to get to the point where it is like you're not even having fun playing the video game anymore, but you continue to play it. You're not even having fun eating anymore. You're not even hungry. You're not even like enjoying the taste really, but it's just, there's something in your brain that's telling you to just indulge. And to me, I've always had, like, it sounds fucking more masochistic, but I've always really enjoyed the prospect of like just full on telling yourself stop or no. So like, oh, you're not gonna exercise because you're sick or you're tired. Well, eat shit. You're gonna work it anyway. That kind of thing. Or like, let's try fasting just to kind of like push that to its limit of like, oh, I'm hungry. Well, I decide we're not eating right now, so we're gonna stay hungry. And again, I think that also plays a little bit into like the pursuit of greed, which is the pursuit of something. So I was thinking about that, and of course, like to me, I think everybody has aspects of everything like this, but the one that I feel like is the least that I've ever experienced was gluttony. And again, it is not to say that like gluttony in an amount is really good. Like if anything, I think greed and gluttony are like the keys to unlocking each other. Like for me, I think like if I were to define gluttony is the idea of like you enjoying what is around you. So like instead of me who eats food and just to move on to whatever I want to do that day, there's a person who like eats food and it tastes delicious and they fully indulge in how amazing it is. And then then like the right amount of gluttony will just have that. Well, it's almost like also having like a friend or having like a parent or a person you can care for, love. It's like the right amount of like letting yourself be in that moment, care for them, laugh with them, instead of always having to think about what the fuck the next thing you're gonna do is and why that's meaningful and where you're going and what that's gonna affect on you, and vice versa. I think like gluttony is in a lot of ways the key to managing greed, and greed is a lot of ways managing gluttony. Because you maybe wouldn't eat so much, or maybe you wouldn't like try to overconsume this video game if you knew that you're not going to have anything to play for a while. Why not try to slow down and enjoy this experience rather than just try to do it when you're not even enjoying it, you know? But it's interesting that so many people said sloth. Sloth, I haven't thought much about sloth, but that one's probably the most interesting. I feel like sloth to me, like if I could have put it on myself, I feel like sloth is much more of a silent killer for me. Like I don't have procrastination, but I do have, sometimes I'll be like, I'll watch one more short. I'll watch one more short. I just finished learning a bunch of this shit. I'll watch one more, or like I'll watch one video, and then it just
Lone
expands.
Syndicate said, in that case, would I be greed as well because I refuse to give up my anime women?
I don't know. It depends. Well, first of all, I talked my ass. Let me see what you guys are saying about all this. Yeah, pride. I don't think pride is one of the ones I also don't understand.
Catman
as
11,234 said my gameplay has looped at this point.
Oh.
If you want to put someone else's on laughing face.
Okay. This is some of Fluff's gameplay. He's playing Wilds, I believe. Yes. Also, Fluff, you should make these published. You never know what people will end up watching. Maybe you'll get partnered even. You only need a little bit of viewership and stuff like that if you do it consistently. Who knows? let's see. Boldy says, cause you are a very, I don't know how to say, just self-justice or something like that. Oh, I see. You thought mine was going to be pride. Pride's interesting, because pride could be mine. I don't know if that's what you guys perceive, if that's what you're perceiving with me. I'd say pride because you are the kind of person who, if he wants to do something, he gonna do it to the full extent. That's very sweet. That's what you're saying. You're saying it in regards to me. It's funny because, like, to me, I maybe it's like definitions is what we get caught up on, because to me, pride is like not like wanting to be perceived in a certain light. Like, that's what I would define as pride. Like, the perception of what people perceive you as is really important. And to me, I don't really. I almost think like it's impossible to even
Lone Syndicate
pursue
said I would
pride.
say sloth is probably the least one for me, with how often I stay up at nights trying to work on something.
Yeah. I think sloth, though, that's interesting, because I don't, like, I'm not sure if sloth, I have to think about that more. I almost feel like sloth isn't like a very particular kind of thing. Like, I don't, like, sometimes people are like, I don't think like I think procrastination is getting really close to what I think like the true essence of like something that's terrible about this particular thing. Like if the 7 deadly sins are basically an analogy for like don't get consumed by these things that you would otherwise perceive as good. Then but its definition to me is a little bit tighter than some of the other ones at least. But let me see. But yeah, sorry, to round out the pride thought, to me, pride is something that, like, you can't control how other people perceive you. So yeah, I guess there's, like, pride in, like, your work, which maybe could be the way that people perceive it. But even then, I find, like, I maybe it's because I have, like, a little too hard on myself, but, like, I'll make something, I'll see all the problems in it, and then I'll put it out, and I won't love it. But, like, some people who are like, no, I put this out because I want it to be the best thing ever. Like, I don't necessarily have that. But that's, again, I do think there's aspects of pride that I probably am not recognizing within myself. Like perfectionist. Maybe it's because I was a perfectionist at some point that I've realized it's just an impossible game. So you're like, I literally chose greed and gluttony for my story because it's the reason that they can be very weirdly, weirdly similar. Fluff says, gluttony is consumption, greed is acquisition, and refusal to give up. Oh, okay. Yes. But to me, I think like gluttony, because I think people always think of gluttony as like I think people think of greed as the pursuit of wealth. I don't think it's that. I also don't like, for instance, I think also people think gluttony is like consumption of food, and I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it's like gluttony is the like mass indulgence in what you have around you specifically. Because if greed is pursuit of more, the idea of more, if that there's that, and then what do you call it? Gluttony is like the what's called the indulgence of whatever you already have, which I think makes sense. Probably to like I guess defined by to an unhealthy. Well, I guess no, because I believe like to me that it sounds like my weird belief, but my weird belief is that every deadly sin, like 7 deadly sins, are actually like a pretty good moniker of how to live your life. Just don't get consumed by them, essentially. Like, it's good to have like to stand up for yourself and have a little tinge of wrath to show that you're not just like going to be a pacifist your whole life. It's also good to have a little bit of greed so that you constantly try to pursue just something. It's also good to have like a little bit of gluttony so that you like enjoy and indulge in the things that are pleasurable around you and don't just constantly pursue something and never get to enjoy anything. So like I think all those things make up for that. What is the counter to that?
Gnawing Fetus said everything in MDO.
Everything the MDO. What do you mean MDO? But I was gonna say, what is the like? I thought there was like the 7 deadly sins, and then there's like the 6 or 7 heavenly virtues or something. I don't know that one. Which probably fucked up. It's probably the same thing. Cat says my gameplay already looped. Bolty says, but then it would be So, like, to me, the ones that I've never been, like I've never had to think about, the last one, to me, I'm like, yep, I get how that could be too much. Like, I've heard plenty of stories about people who have, like, sex additions and weird stuff like that, and not even being about, like, they're just wanting to get off and doing all these kind of horrible things. Anyways, we get into that, but anyways, I get envy. Envy, to me, was the one that, like, never surprised me, and I'm happy to say that, like there was moments when I was doing YouTube and stuff like that over the last, like, early years of YouTube where, like, I hated, Like, again, what is that? Like, the envy to me is like cured by one saying, which is like, comparison is the thief of joy. That's what it is. And if you think about that enough and you're like, yeah, it's just eating me up constantly, comparing myself to anything, comparing what I create to everything, comparing myself to everything, comparing my future self to everything, and it's never enough. It's never satisfying. And yeah, envy was always one that to me I didn't need any like crash course on, but yeah.
Gnawing Fetus said everything in moderation.
Yeah, well, to me, I always like the right amount. Because sometimes it's, like, that's the thing, on. Sometimes it's actually good to, like, heavily indulge. Like, that's why I don't necessarily like the moderation quote, which is good. It's great, by the way. It's not a bad one. It just, to me, it's like, I think it's, like, life is about the right amount of blank. And moderation, to me, applies, like, keep everything medium. Keep everything medium. And sometimes, dude, you're burning with passion, and you're like, let's fucking go. And that's okay. So long as you don't, like, burn yourself out to nothing, you know? Like, there's sometimes, like, again, I think it's, like, exertion and then
Lone
recovery.
Syndicate said the 7 heavenly virtues are humility, charity, chastity, gratitude, temperance, patience, and diligence.
Okay. Interesting. It's funny because, like, just like, again, maybe I have, like, a natural inclination to want to, like, push things a little bit. But, like, when I think about the 7 deadly sins, I always thought, like, yeah, but these aren't just, like solely bad. Like, to, like, again, if you didn't have any aspect of greed in your body, you wouldn't, like, it's, even if you think about it in the layman's terms as, like, just wealth, wanting wealth, then you'll just be, like, you'll be poor, and sometimes wealth can actually help you, like, save your parents from, like, you know, a bad life or whatever, or, you know, be able to pay for a medical expense if you're in the States after selling organs and shit. Anyways, but yeah, but then there's ones like humility is good, but at what point is humility bad? And I'm like, oh, I could see that. I could see how humility is the person who, like, never, like, owns up to being somebody who actually has done a lot and gets their comeuppance, gets their, like, their etc. You'll always have people take the credit for you if you don't actually, you know, have some, I guess, what's the opposite of humility? Confidence or arrogance, maybe? The right amount of arrogance might actually be good in a lot of situations. Not too much, but the right amount, you know? To me, pride is perfection and absence of self-doubt. Okay. If that's the case, pride to me is I have neither of those. I do have pride. I absolutely have pride. Not by that definition, though. I don't think I'm as much of a perfectionist as I used to be. I think I've really stepped off from that. Maybe at one point, for sure. But and also self-doubt. I don't know if I have self-doubt as so much as I have, like, I don't know what to, like. There's not like, it gets the same thing as, like, what is it called? What was the thing you just said? Pride. Like, I determine pride to be, like, to me, like, you cannot, pride is a reflection of the people around you's perception of yourself, I guess. But maybe in your case, it makes sense that it's, like, self-doubt, and it's also professionalism, etc. Which is cool that it applies to, like, I wouldn't deny any of those have, like, a rightful place in what that could represent or mean. So it's cool that it applies to so many things. Fluff says, yeah, I don't see you as gluttonous or avarice. Oh, that's the one from, yeah. Sloth is excess in action, having things you don't get done or push to absolute deadlines. I wonder, man. I'm trying to think, because, like, there's been a lot of shit that I've eaten shit by. Like, when envy was fucking me up when I was younger a lot. What do you call it? I think there's moments like what Bodhi's saying where pride was like, it was the end of me. Especially when I was younger, when I was just starting on YouTube, I like hated everything I made because I wanted it to be a certain standard and all that stuff, for sure. But the one that, like, I think it's to me, the sloth thing was killed by, like, my circumstance that I was growing up in. So, like, I grew up in a lot of, like, learning disability classes, because that's what they said I did. Maybe it was dyslexia. They never tested me. They just said, hey, this kid doesn't fucking learn right, and put him in a class full of people who are troubled in a big way. And like, I'm talking, like, throwing desks and shit, and, like, people who have, like, some form of mental retardation, and some people who have some sort of autism, etc. And people who also were just, like, lazy students who actually had nothing wrong with them, but they probably had some sort of bad home situation, or just were assholes, whatever one we want to justify. But regardless, I was surrounded by people who didn't have any, like, learning disability or difficulty learning, but just shit away all of the potential they could possibly have. So by nature, I think growing up in that, it just made me be like, there's no fucking, what do you mean? Like if you're fucking wasting time, then I am like basically shot in the leg as far as walking forward. It doesn't change the fact that I need to still walk because yeah, like if anything, it makes me kind of frustrated that you're wasting your potential. But at the same time, it's your life. You gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, to me, I think I've seen too many people throughout my life. And again, this is the wrong like thing, because you never know what someone's dealing with. You never know, like, if you lived their life, had their experiences, not even brain, but just experiences. Maybe you'd be the same way and not be able to focus in class and all of these things. It's just tough because I see like moments where they applied themselves when I was in these classes, and they did great. Like and then like, you know, I put like in my selfish head, I put in like fucking 150 million times the effort, and I just moved the needle this much, and it's just killed me. And yeah, so maybe that's why, like, to me the whole sloth thing was never, I was like beating out of you a little bit, you know. I feel like there's also people who are like that with greed. Like maybe people had like a dad who was way too ambitious and like fucked over their whole life, like, you know, had to mortgage their house, so that maybe you get that like, yeah, I don't even want, I'm gonna do the opposite of this heavily, and I'm gonna like course correct. That could be it too for me, but it's interesting. Yeah. I wonder what do you guys think the antidote to sloth is? Because to me, like I said, I think the antidote to greed in a lot of ways is gluttony, which is like to balance out your pursuit with actually like slowing down and enjoying what you've already acquired to some extent. But I'm not sure what the like cure to sloth would be. Yeah, maybe greed.
G Red said,
yeah.
"Heyo."
Maybe greed. Yeah, the pursuit of something. Also, what's good, Red? Red, if you had to choose any of the 7 deadly sins that represented you, what would it be? Or that was like your like pseudo weakness, etc. This is so accurate. Sloth is excessive. This is so accurate. Gluttony also has a tint of will to acquire something just because you can.
Lone Syndicate said,
Okay.
I will say, didn't expect for us to get philosophical this stream.
Oh, I've been thinking about this while I was going to sleep, so I want to talk to you about it. Mostly just because, like, to me, I find, like, it's fun to actually, like, nail down on, like, the definition of greed, which to me is pursuit. Which is funny because, like, I don't think, like, greed, I think, is always, like, I think people think of, yeah, I guess that's a fair representation, actually. I was about to say, like, a lot of people just assume, like, a casino is, like, the bastion of where, like, greed is, like, the name of the game. Which I guess is true because you're in pursuit of more. Maybe, like, yeah, maybe like a buffet table would be like the pursuit of gluttony, maybe. Also, Bully says, Full Metal Alchemist really shaped the way we're thinking about ourselves. To me, man, it's funny because like I enjoy that more. Like, to me, I don't know why, but it's like yeah, to me it was always more. Maybe it's more interesting, maybe it's more fun to like consider the like 7 deadly sins as like a marker of what was this trying to teach the people who were talking about it. And again, I think it's rough because like I think religion heavily like paints a picture of like this person's the demon, evil, awful, and this person's the benevolent, lovely, whatever. But I think these were like, and I don't want to get into trouble here, but hypothetically, say that there was a group of wise people who were trying to like convey information to the future generation. And then, like, a corruptive person on the inside started saying, like, what if we just kind of made this a lot more black and white, a lot more like, nah, it's not about having the right amount of this or right amount of that. It's just about this. And that's evil, and we're going to control people with this. But hypothetically, that's... Anyways. Kat says, I'm definitely sloth just because... Well, it's funny, you guys define yourself as sloth, and you guys, like, are sloth as being, like, a thing that represents you guys. I don't think that's true at all. Again, you guys know yourself quite well, for sure. But I think... like, I guess that's the helpful part of it, is like I've seen moments with you guys where like you are in pursuit of something. So like maybe it is that like sometimes like every now and again you quote unquote lose to the sin of sloth, and maybe you like don't pursue something more or less. But there's been plenty of moments where I've seen you over the years where you fucking pursued something. You've done something, whether it's studying for a test, whether it's writing a story, even starting, whether it's like creating a whole party and setting that up, which probably took a lot of time and effort and etc. Whether it's like having to go into a job where you're stacking cans and etc. and having to show up every fucking day and also be like one of the best employees when every other employee's being a shithead. Like the good news, I think, yes, without all of that thing, is that you guys have moments where, yes, maybe Sloth has eaten up you a little bit too much, but you also have moments where you fucking cratered that shit. You've beaten it really, really well. So at least you know that you have the capacity to not be consumed by, I guess, that sin, if you want to be intense about it. Cat says, also when I have a deadline to reach, the virtue are almost, Fluff says, the virtues are almost the opposite of sins. Diligence can become pride if you're not careful. Ooh, okay, that's very fun. It's very fun to think about. So they're all like the amorphous aspect of like whenever they become too much. Bodhi says, who decided that? Escalation Lion Sin of Pride. Okay. What is that? Eskinor? Is that like the Seven Deadly Sins anime TV series? Somebody like that? Fluff says the temperance, the opposite of gluttony.
McFlufferkin said this is sounding a lot like pride by proxy. GRINN. Pride is a stubbornness to deny yourself or others of hard truths.
Ooh, is that right? Wait, let me think about this. This sounds like a lot of pride by proxy. GRINN. Pride is stubbornness to deny yourself or others hard truths. Well, no, because I don't think I denied any hard truth. Yeah, like for me, I never once said that you guys, like, a denial of truth would be like, you guys aren't slothful at all. You guys are great. Instead, I said, at least I hope I was trying to say this. I was trying to say that you guys have maybe in the past lost to being sloth, but I know you guys have the capacity for not sloth. I know you guys have the capacity possibly for pursuit, or like driving and ambition. So it's not that I ever denied that you had the reality of like maybe you have some shortcomings or whatever. But to me, it was the pushing of that, or maybe this is referring to something else that I said. But I never tried to deny like the possible weakness that you perceive in yourself. I was just saying that I've noticed that you have the capacity to push past that said weakness. Was that prideful? Maybe. I don't define pride. It's funny because maybe I have a very linear way of thinking about pride, but my perception of pride is is kind of infected by what Bolty said with perfectionism, and for me, I always associated pride with like an external source of like other people. Like I don't know if you'd ever find a person who's like really prideful who is like alone on an island. Maybe like an artisan, like in Bolty's case, maybe an artisan that seeks perfection. Making a wood hut and no one has to see it, but it's his, so he has super critical. So those two things make sense to me, of like pride being defined by those two instances. Patience opposed to wrath. It's funny because I don't it's funny because I don't really associate them to be the exact copy of them, you know? I associate hopefully the stream doesn't cut out. Yikes. But I don't really associate I feel like there's I don't think they're one-to-one. And maybe that's by design, but for me it's more of like a like temperance. I could see how temperance could get to be a bad thing, because temperance to me, again, maybe I don't know the definition of the word very much, but it comes across as like peace and harmony, like being at peace and yes, and not having to like overindulge, I guess, which I guess gluttony doesn't make sense. But the one that threw me for a loop is patience opposed to wrath. Maybe they're like the cure to this. Maybe that's what they're trying to say. They're not like equals. They're just like the cure for wrath is patience. But yeah, I don't know how patience can eventually turn to wrath. So that's why I don't think they're equal. Maybe it's just like an antidote to what that is. But I don't know if that's the purpose, because the right amount of wrath is not terrible, you know? Like if you're always patient, then I think that could also be a bad thing, because then you're never be in pursuit of trying to fix a problem or whatever, you know? Also Red says lust. Yeah, I kind of criticized that coming a little bit. I don't know, has it ever gotten to a point where it's consumed you though? Maybe that's the wrong way to put it, because there's definitely, maybe that's the wrong way to phrase it, because I'm not necessarily asking
Nine
that.
Fetus said, beware the wrath of a patient man.
Beware the wrath of a patient man? Isn't that quote of like, beware the wrath of a good man, or some shit like that, where it's just like, if you, I don't know what the premise of that quote is, but yeah. A little edgy, but still fun to think about. Also, Buddy says, I believe that we are all products of our own circumstance, so people have it way tougher than others, but that doesn't mean to be disrespectful to others for that reason. Yeah, for me, I mean, I always just say it in the different way, which is if you had to live that person's life, would you have lived it better? Like, that to me is, there was a big thing, man, that happened like way back in like let's say like 6-7 years ago, where like there was a big push for people who were like really quick to associate someone with being racist, or someone as being like evil, or someone as being like homophobic or anything like that. And to me, and I thought it was like, or people like minimize another person's suffering. Like, you know, I remember there's a thing where like I felt bad for people who were like people are like, you're a white person, so you have never felt any like pain in the world at all. I'm like, that's really fucked up to say to somebody. And if you believe that, then if you were in like a crowd of people and you had to basically point to anybody in a crowd of a bunch of white guys, let's say, you have to point to anyone in that crowd, and you have to live their entire life with your mind, how do you think you would turn out? And also, let me just remind you that if you are correct in that by nature a white person has is like just never going to receive suffering, then you're good. Or maybe you're actually a competent person, and you know that a white person could get sexually abused, could get the shit kicked out of him, could get heavily bullied, could have not had a mother, could have had a bunch of different circumstances that you might have actually had that were better. But if you don't believe that, then point to the crowd, anyone in the crowd. Maybe you'll get lucky and you won't get anyone. But I guarantee most people who are put in that position where they're on a podium full of a bunch of people in front of them, they wouldn't fucking point. Because at least your suffering that you've been through, you know what you can already handle. You've gotten past it already. Or you've already done it. You know it's not going to kill you. Dude, there's some people out here that got, like, touched as a kid. I can't imagine how much that would fuck me up. I'm staying with my fucking whole mess of a backstory. And yeah. So for what Bolty was saying, for me, I would always just say, you never know. Like, if you had to live another person's life and go through all of the bullshit that they went through, you might get fucking cratered. Also, you might turn up just as fucked up as them if they're like a drug addict, etc. Also, the funny thing is, there also might be people that would walk past that shit. Dude, I've talked to like some female people in my day, back in especially high school and whatnot. They got went through the whole gambit of horrible shit. And they just walk that shit off like it was nothing. Now, I'm sure it's going to come back in some way, maybe, possibly. But there are people who can, like, just tank shit. And it seems to be kind of random. Like, I don't know if it's, like, some sort of weird Holocaust thing. You got a DNA strand that just said, nah, your ancestors got fucking eviscerated, you're fine. Or if it's just the nature of the beast. Also, what is this fucking giant whappy thing that just smashes shit? Anyway. Fluff says, actually, wait, diligence is opposite of sloth. That makes a little more sense. Okay. Is the opposite of sloth. Humility is the opposite of pride. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, okay, that feels like it's added a little more. I definitely do think that, like, it seems like the antidote to these things rather than them being their equal. Although, maybe it's because I'm always trying to, like, find the weak point of it, but, like, I could see where diligence could become a problem. I could see where humility could also become, have an issue. Fluff says...
G-Red said sloth would be my other sin. Primarily in regards to doing anything physically, as in getting off my ass to do something. But if it's something I can sit at my PC to do, I am much more inclined.
Yes, so this is the thing that I'm curious about. We're like, I wonder if it's also just like there's things that you do not want to do. And then there are things that like impassion you to want to do it. And maybe that is like, yeah, maybe there's like a muscle that you should always train that's like do shit that you don't want to do, and you'll just get better at doing shit you don't want to do. But I also think that there's like...
McFlufferkin said as you can go to the extreme in both chastity or lust.
Yes.
Either become a complete prude or a sex addict.
Yeah.
Neither are good to let get out of control.
No, for sure. I think also like... I think... maybe that's the best way to put it. But like... because to me, I always say like the right amount. Maybe the wrong amount is whenever it starts to kind of like corrode your life. Like I could see like some dudes, people are out here... This is a big thing that's happening in the... like the younger generation. I see like Twitter... podcasters talk about it a little bit, but people basically being like anti-porn or like anti-jerking off, and then there's people who are like, yeah dude, I jerked off like 18 times a day, and I'm depressed as hell, and I never met a girl, I never wanted to pursue a girlfriend.
234 said the quote is, beware the moonless night, the sea in a storm, and the wrath of a gentle man.
That is what it's called, yeah.
The moon part is a reference to the Fae.
Ooh, that's a very fire-ass line. But to me, yeah, I think if you're getting to the point where like, you're like, but sometimes, man, you might be in a circumstance where, like, Like, think about back in the mid-ages when you just have a bunch of tavern wenches everywhere, and there's disease everywhere. Maybe it's best you bang one out in the fucking bathtub or some shit. Maybe not the bathtub, ew. But just get it out of your system so you ain't gonna get a fucking venereal disease. You know what I mean? Maybe there's like all these variables that you gotta contend with. But yes. Also, Fluff says, the Dante Inferno games do a good job about adding depth to the sins in ways most of us don't attribute to them. Yeah, no, for sure. I've heard about that. Dante, the only thing I don't like about the whole Dante's Inferno thing is that it, again, maybe it's fucked up, and maybe this is why, like, I really enjoy, like, Welcome to Demon School and shit like that, but, like, I enjoy when, like, I hate just, like, a lazy villain, like an archetype villain that, like, is evil, and that's it, and that's whatever. I so much more enjoy, like, a person who is layered and, like, has positives and negatives to associate with them. I always feel like, especially in regards to religion, it always is very, like, pretty one-to-one. Like, it's like, yeah, but Greed's still a monster. Like, yeah, he's kind of a guy. He's a pirate. He kind of has a charming voice. But he's still a monster. I always hate that last part. You know? Also, man, I was such a young summer child. I remember when I seen Dante's Inferno, like the game specifically, and I remember it like just shocked me that like this guy that we were playing cheated on his wife with like some sort of tavern bitch or something, some brunette, and that rocked me as a kid. And now in hindsight, I'm like, man, well, I still fucked up, still wrong as shit because she was wholesome, sweet, all that stuff. But it was one of those things where we're like, Jesus. Also, he like killed a bunch of, and not just that, but that was the one that rocked me for a reason. I'm it's funny. Maybe that's my weird thing is like loyalty is something that shows shocking to me when people shatter it, because it's just like, but it's just fucking say no, or not just say no. Even if you want to bang this chick, just say, hey, what do you call it? When I get back home, I'm fucking saying my wife, we're splitting up because I did this horrible thing. But the fact that you want to do these horrible things and then still benefit, like that's to me some gluttony, because that means you want it all and then you want more when you get home.
GRINN said, I thought Darksiders 3 did the sins well enough, honestly.
Well, yeah.
That was fun.
Yes, I guess that's true too. I just find, like, again, it's still the same thing as they're pretty generically evil. They're still like fun villains, but like, I guess I really yearn for like one, I yearn for something that's not like, it sounds weird, but like I would almost like you to, not redeem, but like show the humanity and like the reason in this. Like I always like I think it was at Saints Row? Maybe it was Saints Row. It was one of these games I played that had like touched with the 7 Deadly Sin things. But it was almost like the 7 Deadly Sins were like the arbiter of understanding their sin more than anything. So like they were the arbiter of like greed was always like, hey, like be careful. Like, we want wealth, but, like, if we never have enough wealth, then you become like me, a person who's just, like, fucking this unfillable, unsatisfied person that constantly has to be in pursuit of anything. And then same thing with gluttony. Gluttony was the same person of, like, hey, it's fun to want to have some stuff, but, like, let's not get crazy. I always appreciated that. That, to me, made much more sense, like, especially with the whole archetype of, like, these things are, like, trillions of centuries old, and they're still like, nope, my way is perfectly not toxic at all. It's just like, okay, that makes sense. Kat says, I'd say the antidote to sloth would be discipline. I feel like it's too simpler of an answer. Maybe I think discipline to me is a word that doesn't quite sound right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Something about that doesn't quite feel like, it feels like it's a good 40% of what the answer, but not the full answer. Woody says, I personally have a lot of self-doubt, so I would tend to say I'm more sloth. Yeah, I wonder why. For me, a part, like when I hear that question, I put myself in those shoes. To me, I think like the self-doubt is irrelevant, not because like not because stuff's not hard, but just because it's like again, it's like it may take you 10 years to do something. It may take you like 3 years to do something. It might be like really slow. But you, like, Rome wasn't built in a day, so, like, so long as you do a little bit of it each day, you'll slowly get there. Like, oh, what's the alternative? Just not doing anything? No. The only thing that you can control is just the small bit that you can do every little bit. And eventually you'll be like,
said,
whoa.
For those of us feeling sloth is our biggest sin, isn't that we haven't beaten it back in recent years, but that we've let it go to extremes more than the others.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. So you're saying that, like, it's the one that keeps rearing its head. Gotcha. The worst part about the greed thing, dude, I think it is deceiving. It's weird, but like it's one of the few things that I don't want to lose. But I'm pretty sure it could get real bad real fast, you know? Like I've seen people who like it gets real bad real fast. But yes. I wonder if there's another one that's like that. Wrath, I don't think so. I can see how Wrath could be the similar way. If you grew up in a really bad circumstance, like a really bad household, toxic people are evil, mean at you, like gangster shit, a bad like environment, that you have to be really tough and yet like that was rewarded. I can see that where like someone doesn't want to lose that aspect of it, you know? Yes. I could also see if you had like a really strict parent, like gluttony would be like a nice, like to indulge and to have like enjoy your time would be nice, to not be so like restricted. I could see how everyone could have their like, this is my friend. My friend has never left me wrong. I'm aware my friend could be a bit of a shit. Could be a bit of a bastard. But yes. Yes, exactly what I'm saying. Oh, wait, no. Wrath is becoming impatient and frustrated to the point of violence and anger. Not to say that there are the cure for one or the other, but each one is two sides of the reverse coin. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, find the little sweet spot. What he says, exactly, Sloth is primary regards to that PC stuff. As you can extremely get both chests to that. The quote, beware of that moonlight. I thought Dark Stars would have betrayal. But Kat said, betrayal is one of the most hated story tropes. As someone who pursues connection with people, I hate, I hate, like, maybe my brain goes, like, kind of, I don't know, I have moments where I'm, like, really emotional, and I have moments where I'm really, like, grounded, and I think logic. Like
McFlufferkin said also this gameplay is Wild Hearts, not Monster Hunter Wilds.
My bad.
The former is about rampaging Kemono, overgrown fauna that emerged with the elements of wood, fire, water, wind, or earth.
Ooh, okay, I was about to say, I don't know you could, like, build, like, make a whole, like, table stack. That was fun. That's like some Fortnite shit. Like this, yeah. In the middle of your thing, you're like, I'm gonna build a firework. Okay. What was I about to say about that one thing? Betrayal. Oh, yeah, the whole, like, the betrayal thing to me. Again, maybe it's, like, in my head. Like, if you wanted to, like, I totally understand that, like, maybe you're like, hey, this person in front of me is someone who I'd rather have, or whatever the hell you could do. Like, everyone's entitled to have, like, whatever. I don't know what's going on with that person. Maybe they're, like, the girlfriend's been a monster the whole time. Who knows? But it doesn't take a lot for you just to be like, hey, phone your girlfriend and be like, yeah, I want to break up. I'm not interested. Yeah, other opportunities. Like, it just annoys. I guess that's, to me, the thing that drives me nuts about the cheating thing, is that you want it all. You want not only to like keep your partner, but you also want to indulge in this other shit, which it seems like maybe that's where it fucks my head up, is because it's just unfairness. Also, you could tell your partner, maybe you're surprised what they say, but to me, it's just the idea that, like, that's maybe what it is. I'm going to limit information to my partner, just so that I can get more in a weird way. I don't know what it is.
Wild Hearts is honestly more fun than Monster Hunter.
Ooh.
Though Monster Hunter has the advantage of modding providing fun in other ways.
Well, that's kind of fun. It's a shame that this one doesn't, because I feel like they could have a lot of fun with modding in this. Especially with the building mechanic. Buddy says, I dislike... Yeah, dude. Well, that's just saying, like, I dislike despair. Like, Buddy says, I dislike the NTR tag. Not gonna lie. Well, yeah, you don't need to add that not gonna lie part. I was about to say, well, that's just, like... I think that is defined, or, like, specifically defined as, like, misery. Like, I don't think it is even about the cheating aspect of it, because there is a cheating tag within Harada. But that's more of like, there's this hot bitch on the other side of, like, the cul-de-sac, we're gonna bang. They never show the wife, they never show anything, they just show, like, this thing. It's still gross, disgusting. But there's something about the NT that is like, it's gonna revel in, like, the breaking of people. And it's just despair.
McFlufferkin said it was on sale recently, so I gifted it to my brother, Red, and another mutual friend.
Oh, that's fun.
Found out afterwards that the party limit is 3, but we've made it work.
Let's go. That's awesome. Super generous,
The 8
Fluff.
weapons offer distinct playstyles.
That's wonderful, Fluff. Yeah. The distinct playstyles, that'd be fun. Yeah. I see you rocking this umbrella. Oh, right, you were telling me. Yeah, right, there's an umbrella weapon. Yeah, that looks actually really fun. Like, especially when the gun blades and shit are there. Fucking run around with a like a kite-esque weapon. Pretty cool. Also, man, I don't know. That would be, like, I try not to be judgy with shit, you know what I mean? Especially if it was like, sort of like, what is it called? Don't judge someone's kinks, etc. Like, for instance, if there was a lady who was like, guess what? I'm really into feet. And I'm like, dude, like my feet? And she's like, yes. I'd be like, I'm not a fan of this, but whatever. It doesn't really affect me. If she was like, I'm a fan of pegging, then yes, it applies to me. But I think if I ever met a lady who was like, I'm really into NTR, I'd be like,
G-Red said, sadly,
I don't know if
Wild
I can
Hearts
do
got
this.
fucked. It ended support prematurely because of EA. It did not do well at launch, so it sadly never got the love it very much deserved.
oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that's a shame. It does look like it's a unique idea for a Monster Hunter. Fluff is getting fucking battered around, though. Jesus. This is me in Monster Hunter games where you're like, please, just admit it. And you're just getting like fucking banged around 10 feet. You're like, God damn it, I can't do anything. Also, Buddy says, hell nah, Vor MFers are weird. See, that's like the same thing as furry. Like, let me ask you guys, if you had a significant other who you were dating for a while, you were getting serious, and then they're like, yeah, by the way, I'm a furry. To me, I'm like, there's not fucking, like,
Lone
anthropomorphic
Syndicate
dog
said,
people.
I spent about a good part of my morning learning how to rig the eyes if a model.
Ooh.
McFlufferkin said, my go-to is the bladed Wagasa, the only weapon with its special function being parries.
Ooh.
The timing is really tight without passives to extend the window and allow for the occasional auto parry.
Yeah. Unless...
G-Red said Vor is very much not the same as
No,
furry
I know.
law.
The reason why I brought up the furry thing was specifically because, like, there are certain genres of interest that, like, there's not, like, again, if let's say Lone, he's into, and I know this, but Lone's into monster bitches, like monster women, etc. If your girlfriend had a problem with that, like, oh my god, that's so weird. It's like, you just fucking know monster bitches. Like, it's not a thing. Like, you know, there's no fucking furry people. I mean, maybe your lady's like, hey, I get heat stroke and wear this fucking crazy suit. I mean, whatever. I mean, yeah. But like, to me, same thing with Vor. Like, is your girl gonna be like, stretch open your gigantic mouth and eat me? I don't know. Like, to me, it'd be like a nothing thing. It'd be like, okay, you like imagination nonsense land. That dude. There's to me, if it was anything filth wise, that would be a rough go. That'd be a rough go of it. Imagine you having to, before you get busy, and then the smell is around you. Also, what do you call Lone? How is wait? You rig the eyes already, Lone? God damn! If those guys didn't see it, Lone is getting into like VTuber rigging. Let's go, Lone. That's huge.
McFlufferkin said that's just cannibalism.
That doesn't mean she consumes you. It just means she...
Lone Syndicate said, since when have I been into monster women?
Really? Oh, since when? Oh, I fucking thought for a while there. I thought when we were talking about, what do you call it? Like, shit, what was it? It was Evelyn was one of them, and there was another one. Yeah, Monster Muse. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Since when have I been into Monster... Since Monster Muse, you talk to me about it fucking all the time. And you were like, it's a great goddamn show. And you're like, Monster Women are the best. How dare you? How dare you make me think I miscalled you out? That's some bullshit. I was like, I do have this memory of Lone where he talked about like monster ladies a lot.
I've seen some really
That's what
fucking
it was.
weird Vor. I don't like it, but I'm kind of fascinated by it.
Huh.
Like a car crash, you can't look away from law.
Yeah, I just don't want to. Do you think a blowjob would be considered Vor? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's the consumption of your entire body, which is a weird definition and what is it called? Requirement, I guess. But yes. Vor is very not the same as furry. A very bad comparison indeed. That's just cannibalism since then. Or that it always has been. I've seen some really fucking weird Vor. I don't like it, but I'm kind of frustrated by it. Or fascinated by it. I don't know if there's anything I've seen that I was like, that's fascinating. But I didn't get any like thing out of it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Also, Bodhi says, yes, but there is some weird shiz out there that made me say Vor MFs are... Well, to me, dude, maybe it's just wrong. Yeah. It's just anything regarding, like, horse or My Little Pony thing, to me, is a real big, like, oof. Like, that, I guess, similar to the whole NTR thing, where I'm like, I don't know if I could... This is a big red flag. This is like either you're gonna get some wild ass dildo and it's gonna get real bad for my enjoyment, or there's some weird. I can't get that muscular as a horse. Also, I just have no idea how to engage with this at all. Also, Kat says, claims from GRINN. Nong is a femboy.
Lone Syndicate said, lol, well, Monster Musume is one of my favorite anime also. No, I have not rigged the eyes. I was just learning how to rig them. GRINN. I will say, the video I was watching, I found it easy to understand.
That bodes well, Lone. Let's go. That's huge, buddy.
McFlufferkin said fantasy fetishes can be misconstrued for terrible things. Common misconception is that furries are into bestiality.
Yeah.
This isn't true for the majority, but there's always the overindulgent exception.
For sure, yeah. I think, like, we talked about this whole thing with, like, the extremes. Also, dude, this is something that, like, I don't know if I want to get into because it's way too much inside baseball, like, kind of things. But I think people also, like, I don't know, this is, like, kind of on the really open side of things. But, like, there's been times in the past where I've, like, whether it's, like, female friends, I don't know what it is. I've talked to you about this in the past quite a bit, but, like, throughout my entire life, I've always had, like, a lot of friends all over the spectrum, etc. But the most that I ever had were, like, sounds crazy, but, like, people in like pseudo, just weird situations, like a girl who was in high school who was sleeping around with, like, older dudes and etc. But like, kind of like that type of person, not like dirty, but like in a realm that I was, like, completely not a part of, basically, like a side of the world, a lived experience that I was like, I don't get it, I don't understand. But for whatever reason, I had always made these friends. And these friends,
Catman 11,234 said Jaden Smith, in his song, A Calabasas Freestyle, writes, rap is just one of my fetishes, like a dragon that's pregnant.
Brutal. That's some wild. that's some deep cut shit. But anyways, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought a little bit. Oh yeah, basically people would, like, confide to me things, or, like, really like intimate details of, like, things like that, and I would always just try not to judge and, like, listen and kind of do that stuff. Anyways, but regardless, one thing that was blatantly apparent is, like, how many I got introduced to a lot of people interested in a lot of different stuff, also have had a lot of experiences, and so on and so forth. So probably too many. But one of the things that surprised me is the idea that, like, and one thing that was clear to me over all those, like, stories that were told to me and experiences that were talked to me about is, I think people need to realize that a lot of time, all of these, like, whatever you want to call them, fetishes or whatever, is not actually somebody wanting to experience the said thing. It is the idea of, like, the dreamlike quality of it, that's all it is. So, like, I don't want to get into too many details. I don't want to, it's not, it'll be fine. But there was a lady who really was into, like, some gangbang shit, really into, like, gangbang porn. And I was like, why are you talking to me about this? Don't talk to me about it. But she was talking about this, and I was like, Kizzy, stop. And I think that was also part of it, is they like to, like, tease and be like, I'm going to tell to you about it. Anyways, the TLDR was she ended up getting to have an opportunity where she could do this. And I was like, ugh, yuck. But she went through it, and the takeaway, which I knew it was going to be, was, like, it was fucking awful. I cried. It was bad. It was terrible. I hated myself after it, and I'm like, yeah. And it's funny, and this is maybe where I'm messed up, but I'm like, I think, just throw this out there. Now, I'm not going to say what I suggested, but I suggested that she do a three-way. Basically, I thought that would be much more her speed, and that would keep the idea of the imaginative aspect of it alive without the, like, gross gratuity about you not actually being able to connect with these partners. And it would still have the same, like, effect of, like, feeling like you're overwhelmed. Anyways, really inside baseball. Anyways, point is that worked out really well for her, but also it kind of made, to me, it was like another notch in this thing of, like, yeah, people, even though they might be attracted to this type of, like, thing, whether it's like a porn or whether it's like a fetish, doesn't necessarily mean that they're, like, they want to experience that. It's almost like the taboo or the idea of it is exciting to that person. And then if you know that about people, like, this is kind of the thing that, like, makes it's kind of like a weird fucked up superpower a little bit, but if you know that that's the concept of all attraction, especially fetishes, then you can lean into the idea of what something is. So say if someone was interested into, like, voyeurism, like wanting to, like, do something crazy as, like, have sex at a park or something like that, and you can go to fucking jail for that shit or get, like, a fucking mark on your record. Don't do that. But say if you knew that, like, the concept of this idea, the dreamlike quality of this is that you could get caught, or that you could be, people could judge you, or people could see you, or people could hear you, what kind of horrible, crazy shit you're saying out loud. if you know that and you like whisper that into your partner's ear, that detonates that same
McFlufferkin said
train.
it's adjacent to never meet your hero's idols. It usually deflates all the excitement you derive through your imagination.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Like the imagine, but if you're like a part of, like if you know this about your partner, then you can amplify the imagination aspect of it and make it like embrace the kind of exciting aspect of what this thing is doing for them, and that would, in my experience, please your partner quite a bit. So yeah, to me that's like the fun aspect of like decoding. Maybe it's just me, but I find this stuff really interesting, like relationships, intimacy, marriages and all these kind of things. I watch podcasts on it. I look at studies of people breaking down like all the new things that they've talked about it. I think it's all really fascinating. But that was one of the things that to me was like a little bit of wisdom from weird experiences that people confide in me, and then applying some of these insights and actually seeing like, oh yeah, that makes more sense. Of like it's the concept and the idea of the imagination of it, and if you lean into that with your partner, then I think you could actually experience something great from it, rather than something that's like yeah. Again, this is why people like communication, I think, is the most important thing for us in any relationship. But that seems to be a big thing. A big thing. I don't want to go more into this, but yes. Bodhi says, I'm not going to lie, but I like to say that there are actually weirdos out there that I would worry much more than any fantasy fetish that is completely fictional. Well, yeah, man, there's people who get off on like causing pain to others, you know, and that's something that like, I don't want to judge people, but like that's something that could like lean into being quite problematic, you know. It's the same thing as like a sin, so to speak, where there's probably like a right amount where you get away with this. There's an amount where it gets fucking pretty not great, you know, or like you could really, the only way you could get off is by beating the fuck out of your partner. That's terrible, you know, it's horrifying. So again, to the moderation thing, or not moderation, the right amount of like indulgence in this idea is important, you know. I also don't matter. Also, it doesn't matter take much to prove that statement of mine. Fluff says, yeah, the real monsters are doing truly abhorrent things, while those of us who have our fetish tend to prefer keeping it to fictional. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Kat says, why would you ever partake in a harada, even as someone who wants to experience everything? I think, as someone who like is listening to a lot of these podcasts and finds that weird, like not weird stuff, but like to me, the more something like to me seems rather inhuman, the more to me I'm like, I don't like the idea that I just don't understand this aspect of it, you know, like, so I try to like, I find it, maybe it's wrong, but like I find it kind of curious. Like, so for me, like one of the things that shocked me, like when I heard about it, but it's like the idea that like, sounds horrible, but like cuckolding porn essentially exists, and I'm like, how? Like, what do you mean? But then as I was like watching therapists talk about it, it made sense as how far like it's less of like a fetish and it's more of a reaction to like problems in like marriage and like long-term companionship. It was really like messed up and insightful in a lot of ways.
McFlufferkin said, trust in your partner is a big factor in successful pursuits of this sort of thing. And it's something easily misunderstood. Media tends to encourage the wrong ideas compared to the reality.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like, especially like these new TV shows that people are watching where they're like doing drugs and getting after it in this crazy way, and it's always like the worst example. And then young people see that and think, oh my god, we should try that, and then it fucking detonates. It's also not how like a healthy relationship works. Anyways, back to the weird fetish specifically that we just mentioned. To me, it was so much essentially what made that make sense to me, which is crazy. I love this game, love building it. Hell yeah, Faceless. I also hate Faceless. We're talking about some crazy shit. You came at a weird time. But to me, it was like the reason why a lot of that stuff happens apparently is it was kind of like this interesting study where it showed that like people who, like it's a natural course of what happens when you're in like a long-term relationship with somebody, where eventually you probably stop pursuing that person in a intimate light. You almost perceive them as like a friend, or like you perceive them as like, she's the mother of my children, or he's dad, like, you know, he's the guy in our household who's my favorite man. But you don't like objectify them. You're not like, he's that sexy man I married, or she's that hot bitch I do stuff to, etc. You degrade the person into basically being put on a pedestal, and you basically start treating them, and this is where it gets weird, you start treating them as almost like family. Which again is just hilarious because yes, I'm talking about like non-intimacy oriented, like your mom or dad. You literally assume those roles. But anyways, it starts to get to a point where you can't even perceive that person in a seductive light anymore, and the only way that you can perceive it is if another person is in pursuit of your partner, because you can't do that. You can't like degrade your partner anymore because you put them on this big pedestal, and that's only like one of many ways that it kind of leads to that point. But also it makes me being like, I don't want to like ever get anywhere near this, especially if your partner ever suggested it. So the way to do that, apparently, and this is what a lot of the psychologists that I've seen from talk about, like how important it is to think of your relationship as having two bars filling up. One is objectification of your partner, which is like asking them to like pursuing them, I guess, in a way, like not trying to glorify them in a light of like, it's the best, she's such a good mother, you know. That's nice, that's important too. That's the other bar. The other bar is like filling up a person and making them feel really like connection and safe and all these kind of things, just like a family, like, you know, like your wife. But then it's also kind of keeping that spark alive, that is the other aspect of it, which is like people kind of, the word I like the people use, because it kind of is like a little bit degrading, but it's like objectification. Like you should want to kind of in some ways objectify yourself to your partner and your partner to you. I think that was really helpful to understand like a weakness in marriage that can lead to a really weird place, whether it's like a sexless marriage or a full-on like corrosive, weird cucking, weird swinging nonsense thing, because you can't even imagine yourself in that position with your partner anymore because you haven't done it for like fucking 15 years, and you've built it up in their head about being like, no, they're too perfect for me to do anything like that with, you know. Whew. Anyways, that's quite the aside, but yeah. Kat says, dirty talk certainly can help someone get in the mad space. People who do, that's where like this shit, that bit, any sort of like dirty talk thing should be kept, dude. That's another thing, man. That's the other thing. The other thing that to me is really fascinating, is that I lost my train of thought and I tried to capture it with that shit. It was it's basically just that some things should stay. When Kat said dirty talk, this and that, to me, some things should definitely be never talked about. Like that's the like, because it just sounds horrible. That's what I was about. The difference between a person liking you and you saying like pseudo romantic, cutesy, weird shit, and a person not liking you is a million miles away. So, like, dude, if you've ever heard, like, couples in love and talking stuff, it's the most cringe, yucky thing ever. But then you look at the girl, and she's just soaking it up. And it's usually because the girl likes you. Like, you're attractive to some capacity. She's associated, like, you're good, you're nice, I'll accept all this. But if you're, like, even remotely, like, trying to do that shit with someone who isn't already interested in you, you're a creepo, like, 10,000. Which is kind of tough, because, like, maybe you just gotta play it real safe. But it feels like you're like, damn, man. You try to be wholesome or cute or playful, and a person just has no attraction to you, and they're like, you're gross and disgusting. You're like, well, come on.
Said, best example I can give about misunderstanding from media is 50 Shades of Grey, and how a couple that actually practices BDSM were demystifying it, and that it should not be an instruction manual.
Yes, no, for sure, man. Yeah. Well, that thing is, man, I hated that was so successful, mostly because it's like, it's just like women who are like, I want a damaged, horrible partner who has a bunch of problems and shit. Like, even outside of the BDSM thing, there's a bunch of other horrible shit associated with him. Like, he's evil in a lot of ways. Yeah. To me, it was like a very clear thing of like, there's the BDSM crowd, which, you know, to each their own, get after, etc. But then there was also like, he's also just a terrible person. And then every woman was like, yes. And you're like, honey, you guys get after it. Once again, guys, this is why I say 27 and up. Because this is 27 and up, or 27 and down behavior. You just need to date a few psychopaths. And you'll be like, maybe less of that. You know? Knew a dude in a fraternity who liked to roleplay, but he said he knew he'd never actually We'll do, yeah, that's some shit that like I don't even know if I've unpacked as far as like just that weirdness. Like, dude, step Hadada was like gasoline on the industry that was that. And it was just like, you know what's that fucking guy? He's like a philosopher that everyone always tells me like he's a sick freak. Hey, there's something there, man, in a weird way. Yeah, that you're like, this is too much smoke for there to not be a raging fire in some people. I don't know. But it was definitely one of those things where I was like, well, that's a whole bunch of weirdness. And again, I think it's teeters that line of like, I think there are these things that are like associated with like taboo. Like that's probably the best way to phrase it, where it's not even like you even considered the idea. It's just, again, the same thing as like the idea, the concept, the imagination aspect of it. That is just like something suspect enough. And there's already research that shows like the stress hormone that you have in your brain, and like your aversion and your interest can sometimes mix, and that sometimes detonates excitement, and yada yada yada, you know. Oh, I don't know why my gamer stuff is not tasting good nowadays. I don't know why. Tastes a little yucky. This chicken is a menace. Dude will not go down. Did I loop this? I hope I didn't loop it. No, it's just a good bit of video. Nice. Faceless says, I don't judge, lol. It's like interracial. I don't get ploy relationships too much. Yeah, well, dude, that's some shit that like I don't even understand. Like, yeah, like the I mean, maybe I can understand it. I can understand like the premise of like, yeah, you want a partner, but you don't want to have anything. I just have never seen it work, and I would hate it across the board. Also, Buddha says, I'm afraid of growing old, Grin. Really? Oh, I'm not really afraid of growing old. I'm afraid of not doing all the things I want to do before I get old. That's my thing. I'm worried about like, the one thing that gets me sometimes is like, man, I hope I get into like a place in my life where I want to pursue like dating and whatnot before I start going. Do I got some gray ass hairs already in my hair? You know, there's things where like I hope I don't like start looking like a gross saggy nutsack essentially before I get into that market, you know. But who knows? Fluff says best example of the 50 Shades Grey. All right, gang, I have some things I wanted to ramble at you before we get too caught in the weeds. How long have we been streaming? It feels like it's been a minute. Wow, it's been an hour and 20. Shit, we need to hurry up because we got to react to memes. We have to then play a little bit of Withering Waves, and then we're good. But I need to also ramble at you guys about the stuff I wrote down because I had notes to want to talk to you about. Okay. I think I already talked to you guys about this. Something I was thinking about this week. But the TLDR is basically, there's, man, if you... I think, it's a good way to phrase it. I think, for a long time, with me, I used to work in, like, blocks. That's kind of like an insight I had this week. But basically, like, people who, some people do really well, I guess, with, like, waking up in the morning, they, you know, get their breakfast, they go to work, they work for, like, a 7 or 8 hour block, wherever it is, then they get home, and then they have, like, their 5 hours of decompression. Some people work really well with that. I think most people wouldn't, but let's just say a lot of people worked well that way. I worked well that way. And again, not everyone has the benefit of working the way that I find to me is the most optimal. But to me, I work really well. Like this is why I kind of like the idea of entrepreneurship a lot. It's because it kind of facilitates this idea. But it's like I would rather like wake up at 8 and then like continue to work till like 9 p.m. but have many more tiny breaks throughout my entire day. And not even breaks, but like for me, I tried doing this because I thought, man, maybe I should try this. This is how I feel like I naturally like function, where like I do like 2 hours of like a massive bulk of work, and then I like my brain starts to get like kind of like wants to reject it, and then it like all it takes is like a 10-minute video or like 10 seconds a short or something like that for me to kind of like recover a little bit, and then I can do another like 4 hours or something like shit like that, and like keep that progression up, rather than having like these long bouts of delay, you know. So I don't know, I thought that was like, to me, something that I've done, and I have like become 50 times more efficient as far as like checking things off my list and like actually doing all the things I want to do in the day. And if anyone has the ability to try that out, it's really nice. I do wonder if it requires a good bit of discipline, because some people, like when they start watching videos, they continue to watch videos, which sometimes happen to me, but I've kind of gotten better about managing it. But yeah, maybe that wouldn't work for people who don't do that really well, can't pause, or tell themselves, okay, it's time to stop and time to get back to work. But it's really helpful for me to like keep pressure on in my whole day, because I end up like actually having more time to dedicate to the things I'm pursuing. And with me not having to worry about like, oh, I have to get all this done by 6. I'm like, no, I have like a fuck ton of hours in the day that just dedicate to this. Now again, this might change if you have like relationships, like you have a girlfriend that needs attention, etc., or you have like, you have to make food for yourself that day. That takes up time if you're not into meal prep, stuff like that. So yeah, so my days aside, but yeah, I thought that was something neat. I think I talked to you guys about this yesterday. Is that the thing?
Catman 11234 said, "Do you think we'll do some React later in the stream?"
Yeah, no, we're gonna probably do it after I'm done rambling about these 2 things. Yeah, I'm sorry, we will do React. Forgive me if that was that's being shitty about that. But I just wanted to get through all these, then we can get to the React, because I wanted to talk to you guys about some things I wrote down this week. The other thing that I wanted to show you guys is, did you guys see the new Marvel Rivals? The new Marvel Rivals thing? The skins? They look so cool, dude. Especially Thor. There's, it was a new, I should be probably, no, goddamn you, I should go to Google. I hate when you type things into the fucking search bar and it's just like, here's old shit you looked up. Marvel Rivals new skins. There we go. Check out these things, man. Hell yeah. I don't think these are leaks. Hopefully they're not. This is an image, YouTube. We got...
Lone Syndicate said, when we going back to Rivals, when is the road to Grandmaster stream
Oh,
week?
fuck, man. I don't know. We got a whole week of... VR next week, in which I need you guys' help to decide on what game we're going to play. I'll have to buy it. Pain. And then we have a week off. So ask me the next thing. I don't know if we'll do a whole other week of Marvel Rivals climbing. I feel like I'm waiting to want to get back into the game. I'm not sure if it's now, but anyways, we got Weird Cheeto Crush Venom, which apparently is, I don't think he's free, but he does have like a weird pass. He does have his whole abilities changed. That's kind of fun. He is also like the most bright thing ever, and yeah, I guess like a dark blob is not much different. But I do believe we also have one for my boy. Yeah, we also have one for, what's his name, Hawkeye, which looks kind of cool. He's got like a Ronin situation. It's fine. It's fine. But
McFluffican said there's a new mini battle pass system called Pickup Bundle. Includes that orange Venom and a costume coin to unlock an epic skin of your choice.
Yes, that's really cool. So yeah, if you want to spend...
Syndicate said this skin cost about $3.
Yes, but it also, doesn't it come with some weird shit where like Fluff was saying, there's like a special they're introducing like a token thing. So you level up the skin, you do the challenges, and then you get like a token to buy like a bunch of the skins. Not all of them, but there's like a pretty big margin. But look at the fucking thing, dude. Oh my fucking god. Thor looks clean. Now, I will say you are paying to lose because it's just a debuff. You can see less of everything because of this giant fluff right here. It makes it so... It's also not like very showy on the back, which is what you're going to be looking at the whole time. Let me tell you, the back shots for Thor are what you're kind of looking for. Look at this. Can't see shit. Okay, it just obscures most of your vision, but the drip, dude, is wild. It looks so good. I can't wait. Yes, yeah. We'll see. Probably we'll play. We'll jump back in and play. What else did I want to ramble at you about? We should probably delete this. But that was the other thing I want to talk to you about. Fire ass skins.
Syndicate said I would play Thor for that skin.
Ooh. Hell yeah, Lone. Hell yeah. Okay. The last thing, there's 2 things I want to talk about before we get into the React stuff. Okay, so,
McFluffican said it's a daily quest mini pass. The 3rd or 2nd from last reward is the coin. Gotta do 3 matches a day per reward.
That doesn't seem too bad. Not too bad. Hopefully is it timed or no? Like, can you just do like 3 matches and then you can have a gap in between them and you can just get it done whenever? Hopefully. Okay, so this is the annual, you just have to bear it and let me talk about it for a little bit. The Valve Deckard news. Okay. Gang, my head thing. I am a little worried. For those of you guys who didn't see it, let let me show it to you, but I'll also tell you about it whilst we're doing it. I did the wrong thing. Yes. Okay. If you missed it, and I know you guys are locked the fuck in with the Valve Deckard, Valve, there we go, Deckard, okay. If you guys missed it, there was some news about the Valve Deckard, and I don't know how I feel about it, buddy. It was a big old leak that basically said this. The TLDR, and I wanted to ask Nong and Kat, because they're the only ones who ever... I should say, that's unfair to you guys. I apologize. But yes. Let's do one of these. Essentially, what all this gibberish means, it's a global timer.
McFlufferkin said it has a global timer. When I did my first set of matches, I had about 2 hours before the quest refreshes.
Okay. Does that imply, does global timer imply, like... could you, like, do it, if I didn't do it, like, when I bought the thing and I didn't do it immediately, would I be out of it? Or is it just like, no, you just have to get your reps in and then eventually it'll complete? I don't think anything's timed in that game, so probably that. But anyways, with the Valve Deckard news, this is something that's kind of worrisome. People are like, it's just a placeholder. Probably. Fingers crossed. But they were saying that this essentially is going to, what Valve might be doing is giving us and it's going to sound like it's nothing for people who don't know, but a 2K resolution headset with 120 resolutions, and they're using LCD panels. If those are guys who don't know, that's like saying, hey, your favorite character in a gacha game is in fact it looks horrible and also is weak. And yeah, it's kind of like that. The LCD panels it's weak, and then the 2K it's also ugly looking. Yes. So yeah, people were like, this is fucking bullshit. We're spending $1,200. Are you fucking kidding me? And it's not like the thing that, where's all the money going? Like, what the fuck's happening? So people were really worried, including myself. I was like, dude, I might not get this. And I've fucking been on board from day one. But yeah, the idea that like it's gonna have like 2K resolution, which by the way, like this is the Quest 3. The Quest 3 has 2K resolution. In fact, I think it has less. This has more or less resolution than the Quest. So it has 2K resolution, and it's LCD panels. Which those guys don't know LCD. Basically, LCD to micro OLED. LCD is just like significantly old. It doesn't have like very good blacks. It doesn't have very good colors. That was a rough sentence, anyways. But it just doesn't have good contrast, stuff like that. Where an OLED panel, people say it's like the most beautiful thing they've ever looked at, like glass, gorgeous. And if you're spending that much money on this, people are like, fucking please, like please make it so that at least it's OLED displays. And everyone's even the main leaker, who's Sally's Bradley, like guys, relax. This is like, what is it called? They specifically gives it like a thing where it's like, this is a placeholder mechanism within the metadata. Like, this is Steam testing shit. It's just a placeholder thing, but it's still like, why would they be testing such a low hit rate? You know? I don't know, but to me, everyone is like, please, and it's so funny, dude, because everyone's like, dude, this headset might have like micro OLED. Boom, this headset might have this, it might have that. And then now everyone's like, maybe if we just had OLED. Everyone's like, worst case scenario, surely we'll just have OLED, not even micro OLED, but just OLED. Hopefully it'll be like 2, maybe 3K. The reason why people are arguing that this might be the case is because of FOV. So Valve might be trying to go for like a really big FOV with their headset, which would make sense for foveated rendering, because that's kind of the thing that you can kind of make benefit the most from that, is you can have a big ass wide amount of screen real estate, and then it's fine because you're only rendering a small chunk of it anyway, so you can actually get away with having a crazy good high FOV. But to me, I'm a little worried because unless they got some crazy tech, but again, people keep saying like this is a placeholder, but this does not bode well for like the hype train. This, for a lot of people, are like, can we not? Could we please have? But again, if it's already $1,200, and this is why people are like, it just doesn't add up. Like, even if you add up all of the costs, it doesn't make sense why it would be like, if they're selling at a loss, then this doesn't make any sense. Yeah. But anyways, that's your daily dose of Valve Deckard news. I am still excited, very worried. I've gotten to the point where I'm a little bit worried. I'm hoping that we're going to get a really good deal, and we're not going to have like baseline lenses, which is like that's a big selling point. That's like that's the whole clarity of you looking through these things. Like if I'm going to use this as a monitor replacement or something like that, I would hope that it's better looking than that, you know, than 2K. But alas, I didn't see a big timer for the Pekka bundle, but I figured they'll cycle in.
Lone Syndicate said, I share your concerns, Grin. Hope everything turns out
Thanks,
right.
bud. Appreciate it. Yeah. I'm really hoping, too, that it all works out. But that's all I want to talk to you guys about. Let us jump over to the React stream. Let's get rid of some of this. And this for right now. I should have probably closed all those. That's my mistake. But let me pull up this as well. Face cam. Get rid of that. Discord. Alright, also, before we start, I have to use the washroom. So, give me but a moment. Also, Lone, I did watch that video you sent me, and I did there wasn't anything there that I wasn't applying, so I think it might just be that, for me, maybe I don't have Sammy built right, but she just still does feel a little bit undercooked for me, which is shitty, but maybe not. Maybe there's a character that will come out down the line that buffs Electro, which will make everything feel a lot better. Where the fuck is the React stream? Mod Hub, memes. There it is. GRINN React. There it is. Alright. We need to bang out the thumbnail, which hopefully I can find.
Lone Syndicate said, I sent some more stuff today. Not sure if we'll get to it.
What stuff? What kind of stuff?
Catman 11,234 said you left off at Fluff's ping in the React channel. Thumbs up.
Sure, but we'll bang out this weird guy, this Russian badger, which I've seen a little bit of his content, so I know I like. Also, I got this like cushion for my thing, and in order to get it on there, I had to it falls off. Yeah. Anyways, don't worry about it.
McFlufferkin said once I get more comfortable with the content creation interface of YouTube, I may upload public videos. But the intent for now is to provide background gameplay for this stream in my own archive.
Let's go, Fluff! I can't wait. I feel like you should probably dip your toe in, though, because I feel like people hesitate to upload videos because you're kind of worried about people seeing you, and they just do a little bit. It's kind of nice just to get out of the comfort zone, you know what I mean? But I'm happy to hear that. Can't wait to see him. Let's see. What should we start?
Lone Syndicate said I just sent some Instagram reels is all.
Okay, that's fun. I don't have an Instagram, so hopefully I can still open them. Fingers crossed. The only thing I have is a YouTube and a Twitter, but the Twitter is basically inactive. But let's start with top, and then we'll work our way down. Am I going to be able to watch these, or are we going to get hit with YouTube's ads? Let me just open up a bunch. Pause this, and then open up this one as well. Pause again. Dude, Opera had an update, and it's running much better, which is nice. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, God. No. All right, well, fucking, goddamn it. I opened up one of them, and then it like, fell. Or, like, I scrolled down, and then it lost it, and then it froze. All right, this one. Bunch of Russian badger ones, which I have seen. Very, very funny. Makes sense that this dude is just cleaning house. Also, who would have thought, man? This is like the best case scenario. You just have like some animation skills and you just work at them. You know what I mean? Anyways, I apologize. Also, I have this friggin' shirt I bought them just to kind of wear as like a workout shirt, and they're hideous. It's like just a fucking bunch of it's like a weird. I don't even know if it's not even camo. It's just like, what's it called? Tie-dye? Looks garbo. King says Arrow Rover is getting depressing to use. Yeah, people say he's really bad, but he might pop off when the one lady comes out. But yeah, I don't know what to say. He's probably true. Apparently, actually, man, I don't know. I feel like he's dropping some like good damage in the main story, but maybe that was some max investment stuff. So
McFlufferkin said short-term plan is to replay the Guardians of the Galaxy game and record it in full so I can share it with my mom. Since I can't move my PC up to a TV with comfortable seating, this is ideal alt.
Oh, that's the most wholesome shit I've ever heard in the whole month that is this month. Oh, that's so wholesome, Fluff. Also, what a cool mom. What a bamf. Man, that's so awesome, Fluff. Good shit, man. That made my day hearing about that. Cat says, so I just sent it to them. Wait, before that, it says, I've edited funny moment montages that I posted to YouTube, but they're unlisted. Since the moments are from playing through all the Halo's Legends with my buddies. Why? Cat, man, guys, I know. People probably worried, but god damn it, gang. You never know. Like, just like shoot your shot, basically. Put it out. Maybe some people no one probably will see it, to be fair, because it just takes a long time to signal to YouTube. But maybe people fucking do, and maybe you fucking hit gold, and people like see you and your brilliance and your stupid, silly humor, etc. Then you have a career, or you have not even a career. That's too much probably to think about. But you maybe just have like a little bit more revenue coming in, or maybe you find like a passion that's actually being validated. Maybe you have a little more income every month if that happens to work out. Like, it takes nothing just to shoot your shot, man. Shoot your shot.
McFlufferkin said, if by BAMF you mean badass mother of fluff, then yes.
Bamf. I always know Bamf is just like a way to tell someone is. I actually don't know what the term Bamf. Oh, badass motherfucker. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. It's a half hour, and I feel like the moments are only funny to. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit though. There's definitely moments like everyone. You're like one of the things that I learned when I was younger that was the most freeing thing ever, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but it's that you're not actually that special. You have way more people understand. People have way more connection with you than you think. People get the joke, especially if it's told right, etc. I think you'd be shocked at how not alone you are in the world with your humor, with your likes, with your dislikes, etc. It's one of the gifts of the internet.
Lone Syndicate said, I will say I didn't expect to get so many views on the Agme play I upload for our stream.
Yes, that's the other thing, is that like a lot of people are also like, and this is the other thing that's kind of really important too, is there has been like a insane renaissance of like clips in the space of YouTube right now, because so many channels like use like attention span diversion essentially, so they have like gameplay off on the side while they're talking about anything, which I don't know how I feel about, but that's why I like, and it's the reason why that's actually not terrible is because you do get like a percentage of the residual views usually coming off of all those videos, which is good. So it could be theoretically good for you to do that. Anyways,
lit up with bright neon lights. A small.
We're starting the reaction stream. Sorry.
This says a cyberpunk city lit up with bright neon lights. A small burger shop on a main street where the hover scooters fly around. Ooh,
the cyberpunk?
I like the mannequin here.
Ooh, that's sick.
Being sneaky.
Is this Roblox?
No. Oh, there's so much to absorb here. Hold the fuck up. So we got the flying cars, obviously. City. Street light with the neon bars. And then if you look up there, to add to the sense of scale, they took one of the tiny figurines and put her on top of the roof. Incredible. Oh my god, that chandelier.
What is this? It says the Star Terrace.
I love these. I love this. These little scooters. It's such a cute idea.
I'm wondering what this game is. Is this a Roblox kind of thing, or is this just like a different like MMO vibe? Regardless, the fact that you can build shit like this is wild.
The TV man again. We've seen this guy before. What do you think sets apart Japanese approach for design from NAEU? I think for Japanese,
I wonder what. Not just a guy watching the store, instead it's a TV robot man, samurai, yes.
They approach this as set design. For the most part, from what people have shown me, compared to what I see in North American EU, they always
G-Red
tend to
said
approach it.
Final Fantasy 14 MMO housing system.
Oh. Whoa. So this is not even just like, this is like there's a whole other like game associated with this. And this is just a section of the housing system.
From the perspective of, you're here to take a screenshot. So we're going to cram everything we can into the view of your viewfinder.
Is it just me? I don't like this very much. Like, it's just too much to look at. Like, it's a lot. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you like minimalist? Like, if you had to have a house and the inside of the house was stylized, would you want like wood accents, white walls, and like minimalist stuff? Like, not a lot of clutter, not like a lot of random plants everywhere and shit? Or would you want like a lot of stuff on it? Like paintings on walls, furniture everywhere, like weird cabinets that you don't use, just decorate the whole place. Which one would you do? A or B? Like white walls, wood accent colors, not a lot of like random furniture, or fill that shit up. I don't like dead space. Which one are you? A or B? Because to me this is a lot of B, and I don't know if I love B. It makes me like anxious. It's almost like just so much
of your game, you know? You're here to take a screenshot. This is a studio. This is a set. This is a stage. When I go to North American houses, it's always like, you're here to live. We're role playing. This is an actual
I gotta
house.
fuck with that a little bit. I guess that would be the other thing. Like, I would prefer function over
Lone Syndicate
fashion.
said, what was the question?
The question was, would you rather have a house that is like very minimalist in design, as far as like white walls, a lot of light coming into the house, wood accents? That's
G-Red
A.
said a lot of stuff. I don't like minimalism in that regard.
Okay, or B would be like lots of like shelves that you're maybe not going to use, but like a lot of stuff filled up, things on the walls, etc. Yes, I don't think I like minimalism, but I do like the clarity of like less, I guess. I don't like minimalism is like pushing, like the idea is that like less. Like I don't want anything. Like I almost want like nothing as far as appliances. I just want something that doesn't make me feel like overwhelmed. Like, you know what I mean? Where there's so much shit, almost like a hoarder. Like I don't like that. I'd rather have it be more like everything has an intention and everything has a use. Maybe that is minimalism. I don't know. But minimalism by its very nature sounds like it's meant to be something more like just I don't want anything. Like I feel like that's the extreme of minimalism. It's like I have a laptop and nothing else in this room. And I was like, that's crazy. You're a serial killer. It's too much.
This is where my character lives. This is all their things. This
Lone
is an
Syndicate
expression of
said,
my...
considering I have some figures and stuff, I'll take the shelf space.
No, I know, but I'm saying like if you could like move into a house, you'd still do that? Like I feel like everyone would theoretically want to move into like a house that's minimalist, because then you can always buy the shelves you want.
Minimalism is cool though. Like in Cyberpunk 2077 apartments.
Yeah. Also, I don't know, man, there's something like tranquil about like I don't know, like I would give that example of like white walls and like lots of light coming in and like wood accents, etc. There's something that's almost like this is peaceful. This is not like, it's the opposite of what I see when I see this, which is like but I also like function, I guess. That's the other thing. Like for me, I think function is my would be something really cool, which I mean, again, makes for a good screenshot.
Self, you know, this is a functional place. I see that way more often. Oh, this is cute too. I see the same amount of attention to detail in North American creators too. It's just, if I had to put my finger on how they approach things, they tend to approach things as a set for taking photos. Oh, this sign right here. That's cool.
Wild.
Someone steal this idea. That's so good. The neon burger. The menu choices.
Yeah. Also, I feel like this would be expensive. Like all this probably has some cost, right? Like, or is it all free? Yeah, I was gonna say, thank you so much for sharing this with me. I think who is it? Was it Fluff who shared this with me? Yes, it was. That was fun. That was a fun little deep dive into. Also, I need to do this better. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting. The creativity and attention to detail is what possible in Final Fantasy housing. Definitely something to behold. Yeah, that was really cool to share. I wish I read that beforehand so I got the gauge of like what we're going into. That's my bad. But yeah, that's really fun. Especially just the idea. I didn't even know that that had that level of housing system. That's pretty cool. That's like Sims level, if not more. Really neat. Huh. Still don't want to get into that game because it seems like it'll eat my life up, but very neat. All right, now we're into what the stream is called. So, Is it? Oh, god damn it. Okay, there. I'm about to say, why? Why is it muted? Anyway, let's run this back. I was going to say, did I fuck up? All right. Let's rock. Also, some minimalism is cool. Final 7 says, Succubus, succumb to Final Fantasy 4. I don't wanna. It's too much. It is cool that you can make some freak shit characters, though. Like a character that's like 2 feet tall and shit wild. Can be like kicked in the face, just eviscerated. Anyway.
Why are you reading a washing machine manual? This is not a washing machine manual. What do you mean? It says General Electric right on. Yes.
Also, this guy his whole video is a mile a minute. By the way, we're reacting to Russian Badger and as well as a bunch of stuff you guys wanted me to send me to so we can check out. So this is him.
General Electric right on. Yes, General Electric,
Why is he
maker
pancakes?
of the GAU 8 Avenger machine gun on the A10 Thunderbolt. First of all, that's a warthog. Second of all, Fairchild Republic makes the A10. Fairchild Republic makes the A10. General Electric makes the machine gun. So you're telling me that the people that make that are the same people that make that? Yes, that one spins to make something clean, that one spins to make something disappear.
But this is one of those things, man, where people are doing weird shit, where it's like they make a cog or like a spinny, whatever the fuck, a ball bearing, and they're like, they make the same thing. Like, no, they're making like a fucking gear or something, or a cog. And they're probably like, hey, can you like make a version of that for us? And I'm like, sure, it's just a cog. Is it more strung on it? Sure. And then they're like, what? You're using it for what? And, well, the military's probably paying a fuck ton of money, so you're probably like, yeah. They're like, okay, the dead kids is fine. Whatever, bomb people.
Here, it's really not that complicated. You don't find it weird that a company that makes toasters is a company that also vaporizes people? Vaporize is not the right word. I neutralize targets, but toasters, machine guns, it's all just engineering. God, capitalism is weird. Why are you reading?
I'm about to say, man, isn't that like the weird shit that people say where like every bit of technology we have, like our smartphones or everything is like probably derived from like military investment and shit like that into trying to like make some sort of crazy gun, and then like 50 iterations down we finally get some cool technology that's not meant for eviscerating human beings and making them into red mist. But yeah, horrible, but war moves things, unfortunately. Either that or it's the billions of dollars invested into it. He's moving something along. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into bullshit, but Also, we should make this full screen. Pause. Don't you fucking step over my audience wanting to speak. Cat says, the goo machine gun is the size of a Beetle car. What? It is a gun that has a plane built around it to make it move. It's being phased out due to the close air support being quite hard to maintain, but it is extremely effective when it comes to when it comes to air's superiority. I'm about to say, what was there was like this one thing that they showed was like I think it was like a proof of concept shit, but it was like this giant shell casing that, like, I think it like blew out the back every single time it shot, but it required, like, it put out so much fucking force. But I don't know what it was. It was like this giant thing. Like, it was impractical to move. It was just basically like, hey, can we like create this much force and can we do this concept? And every time it took, like, it shot, it like burned, like, I think it was like $3 million or some crazy shit. And you're like, what? What?
You're bulletproof? He's bulletproof. How do you know he's bulletproof? Yeah, but that's just 9mm. Everybody's bulletproof to 9mm. That's a .357 Magnum. Okay, I get it. He's bulletproof. I'm about to say, that guy is confident. Why? Man, that's a great ass. I'm sorry to pause it, by the way, so much. I'm about to say, what if somebody was like, hey, you're immortal? And someone's like, let's find out how much. I'd be like, how about no? I'm still afraid of death if it is possible. That's some crazy ass shit when people are out here. Like, yeah, let me test the immortality, how much immortality I have. You mean the pain and everything that comes with it? Hell nah. Bulletproof up to 45 caliber. Stop shooting him. I get your point that he is bulletproof. Where did you even find a functioning flintlock?
Wouldn't a flintlock be less
Catman
powerful?
11,234 said, check your DM when you have time folded hands.
Got it. What is it? What did you send me? I'm about to, is this the giant fucking weapon built around the thing? But yeah, isn't this less of a? I thought like the big fucking one that you put a bunch of shit in and you put a thing down, you shoot. I forget whatever it's called, like not a flintlock. Yeah, flintlock rifle. That makes sense. Yeah, a flintlock rifle. I thought that one had like a shit ton of force to it. I think they like an old, I don't know, just Mythbusters or like some sort of thing where they shoot like a candle and it fucking like blasts through a mannequin, and, like, because it's just how much of the payload they have and how much it's flying. But I didn't think this little guy had the same amount of gunpowder in it.
Where did you even find a functioning flintlock? Here's a question.
Lone Syndicate said that man eating bullets like no tomorrow without any milk either.
Strong ass bones. Why does his chest keep changing memes?
What's your point that he is bulletproof? Where did you even find a functioning flintlock? Here's a question. What do you want me to do? I'm a medic, not a sorcerer. I can't just sacrifice an NPC to cure his condition. You're gonna run out of calibers.
Well, that one didn't.
What if you didn't use bullets? What if you just punched him in the
McFlufferkin
face?
said they're testing all bullets, not just escalating calibers.
Oh, the shotguns. I was about to say, what was the that little thunk was sad. I feel like it should have. Did it knock his head hard?
You're gonna run out of calibers eventually. Sacrifice an NPC to cure his condition.
That was a lot of movement for a little punk.
Run out of calibers eventually. What if you didn't use bullets? What if you just punched him in the face really, really haymaker hard?
What if you just spit in his mouth and you had a sick cold?
Catman 11,234 said, I also put it in the share your grin. It is indeed the fun.
That is? Okay.
All right, that'll be $87,423.18, and you can leave me a tip right on this tablet.
Welcome to America. I'm about to say he said 83, and I thought that's a lie, and then he said more zeros, and I said yes. Pow! Is this a self-kill as well? Probably. Hot diggity. What are the comments like? Punch, critical hit, and RPG mini crit. I love how the punch was critical hit. I didn't notice that at all. But the RPG was only a mini. That guy was punching like One Punch Man. The motion capture suit was the best investment I think you've made. Is he motion capping it? I thought he was like actually animating.
Lone Syndicate said, "Oh, I want to share the new Nikkei. I got 2 if we get a chance."
Hell yes. Yeah, it's wild. Okay. Let's pause and check out the weird gun thing because it's on brand of what we're talking about. What we were talking about. Oh, damn. Well, that's a tiny image, but my ribs are hurting. Your ribs are so awkwardly cramped sometimes. Weird. Okay. Yeah, I feel like there's a little tiny car. Some of these planes are fucking monstrously big, so I feel like that makes sense a little bit. This is a little tiny buggy, and this is a giant thing. Maybe that's like it's still headwise long, but I feel like this would be like the size of a truck. I feel like you could build some planes will seem much bigger than trucks, but yes, it's fucking weird, weird shit for sure. Back to this. Alrighty. Oh, let's watch 2 more of these, and then we'll check out the Nikitas, and then I have another thing to talk to you about, which I forgot to talk to you guys about, because it's important for next week's streams. So hopefully everyone has an opinion on it. This shit.
Whoa, where did you find that? Find what? That? This?
Ooh,
yes,
gravity gun.
that. Oh, I got it out of the Lost and Found. You.
Is there any meme in there that would reference fireworks, milk?
You found that in the Lost and Found. Well, technically, I stole it out of the armory, then dropped it into the Lost and Found, then picked it out of the Lost and Found, so if anybody asks, I can say I got it from the Lost and Found.
Foolproof plan. Foolproof plan. What is that? I read this stupid thing the other day where it was like, what if we, that was a meme, or a short I watched, but person was like, what if we rob the bank, take a loan out, or like then invest the money back into the bank. That way there's no real loss in money. It's just like, this is clown math. This is some clown ass math.
Without lying. Okay, that's called lying by omission and will still land you in federal prison forever. But ignoring that for a second, what is it? That's a good question. I have no idea. You have no idea. Absolutely no idea. You bypassed security cameras, knocked out guards, cracked a state-of-the-art vault, and you have no idea what you stole. Nope.
Honestly, Master Chief's retirement, he's fighting alien species and ridding planets of monsters. It makes sense he's kind of got to do something.
State-of-the-art vault, and you have no idea what you stole. Nope. Could be a nuclear bomb, could be the world's most expensive stapler. It's not a stapler. Who would keep a stapler in a $90 million vault? For all you know, it could be a water gun. When is the last time you saw a water gun with an external safety on it? At least, I think that. Overwatch, this is 2-1. I've located the gravity gun.
It was strong. It wasn't that strong, okay? Unless you had a buzzsaw blade, it was kind of just tickling things. Even a box, it would just kind of like knock 2 feet forward. Yeah.
We have a lost and found. Whoa, where?
That's so dumb. What are people saying in the comments? Your Honor, my client pleads finders keepers. Badger is creating his own animation series, and I'm all here for it. The we have lost and found killed me. I've located the gravity gun, and dude, the amount of times I think people will just see the most tiered comment and they just fucking repeat it. The amount of times I see comments that are literally just copy paste of whatever the highest possible one is. Let's see, maybe I'm being a dickhead. This was, I can't tell, it's 2 years ago versus 1 year ago. But yeah, this guy was first, I guess, in hindsight. All right. We got Fortnite, guys. We've came around. Basic skit for Key and... Dude, you guys have no idea how much I miss Key and Peele. You know, especially, you know how heartbreaking I was when one of them decided, hey, let's make horror films. And I was like, the genre I hate the most. You went from me my favorite to like the most must avoid. You know, he's mocap he bought an extremely expensive suit and then he puts models over the top. Oh wow, I thought he was did he always do that, or did he? I thought maybe that makes sense how fast he's churning these out. Because I feel like if you had to animate everything, that's wild. Shit! Why did I fucking open these when they're all muted?
Are the napkins free?
Yes, sir, the napkins are free.
But like how many are free?
As many as you need to finish your meal, sir.
But what if I need like 480 napkins? Are they still free?
Sir,
What about the soap in the bathroom? Can I just crank out like 80 pumps and take...
Why is the soap shit color? What is the... I got soap.
80 pumps and take it home?
Do you need 80 pumps of soap?
I might even take some toilet paper.
Sir, your usual order here is 16 McDoubles.
Yeah?
And you eat here twice a day.
Uh-huh.
So you can afford...
This man has cardio like you would not believe.
32 McDoubles a day, but buying a bar of soap is just out of the question.
That's not the point. I just want to know where you draw the line between free and not free.
That's a fair statement, man. Although I do feel like I get pissed off when I see people who are like, everyone, like, pick it like it's a box of chocolate.
Said he used to hand animate in Gmod. Now he macaps in Gmod.
Ooh, that's much nice. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna say, man, there's one thing in this world that makes me seethe, and maybe it's because like the Canadian respect thing or whatever it's called, or yeah, but when you guys see a video of like some punk little rat bastards on Halloween take like a thing that's like, hey, we're not home right now, but could you take like a piece? And then they take the whole fucking thing and dump it. It's usually fucking like a mom who's just like a bastard who just dumps it all into their kid's packets, like, fucking eat me. Thank God for ring cams, man. We're realizing how monstrous people are. That shit irks me. Same thing as this. I think I seen a video the other day where people are like throwing like a bunch of free samples in a thing. Free samples are one thing. If it's like, hey, there's a full-on soda, I think that's where it is. If it's like a free sample, you can go indulge a little bit. But if it's like a full-formed like chocolate or something like that, why you gotta ruin it for everybody else? Yeah, I mean...
Okay, imagine if every customer took hundreds of napkins and 80 pumps of soap home. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, it sure does. So if you're not gonna stop me, I'm taking the straws too.
I mean, if he's spending how much on burgers for like how long has he been there? The equation might be fucking we ball. He's spending how much on burgers, and also he's eating twice a week, so that's double the price, and also he might be doing this for like every day. Let him take his money, fucking cheap China fucking straws. They're like cents a piece.
Guy just rob us? No, I already dialed 911. He won't even make it to his car.
You call this resisting arrest? We call this a difficulty plea.
Calling a SWAT team over napkins. Did they show up for free?
Excuse me. Are the napkins free?
Ha! That's a pretty good joke. So basically, she ended up spending more money on the SWAT team than just giving. I'm about to say, this is bad business. If he's ordering that much from your store, get him take a fuck. You can math out how much napkins he can take, and he's getting like he'd have to carry so many napkins. It wouldn't make sense. Badger out here posting his psychological studies in SFM's IMO. What does SFM mean? I don't know. Okay, I'm 90% positive Badger has had this exact conversation with a McDonald's employee. I don't agree. That had fucking 58 likes? Holy shit. 32 McDonald's a day. Bro is a ghost at this point. I feel like, well, I'm not sure. I don't know the whole thing that happened in back in the day where like dude was like ate a bunch of McDonald's. But I feel like if you worked out and you managed all your other aspects in your life, and you also didn't just have McDonald's, but you had other meals that were hopefully good for you, and you had the right nutrition, it would still be bad. You'd still be like fucking, your cholesterol would be wild. But I still think you could manage it a little bit. Anyways, let us check out Lone's Nikita's, and hot damn, let me hope that it's not just all ass cheek, because yes, we'll see if we can show it. It's fine. It's fine to show. It's a cute little dog lady. I think this is wholesome and neat. Well, not wholesome, for sure not wholesome, but also, was this needed, this little tiny thing? She has a sucker. She is not a dog. Maybe she's wearing a beret? Why is her tongue out? So many questions. Golly, this right here, guys, just diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. The thigh squish, freak shit. This. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Holy shit. Oh my god. It's when it's higher resolution, it makes it more crazy. She's a little pudgy too. It's nice to see different body types.
Delicious.
I felt comfortable. It's not as egregious as we've seen. It's still not as egregious. Definitely, shout out to Nikita. This is actually like a thick lady.
Said you mean the Super Size Me documentary?
Yes.
The dude passed away within the last year or two, unrelated to the month of McDonald's.
Well, that's sad. Hopefully his wife and family are okay. Yikes. I'm about to say, this is not as egregious, but I do shout out to them. This is like, to me, again, sometimes people be making like I remember, what was that game? I forget what it was called, but it was like a game that was making like a pretty like dangerously sized, like a person who has dangerously sized to the point where like they're probably getting heart problems. This is the right amount of like you're still, yes, still probably healthy. You're still rocking it, and yes. Also, my God. Yeah, they even got the little belly and whatnot. Also, yeah, the side angle shows that there's a lot more. There's fat in the right places as well. Anyways, she's a sniper. Because when I think of a chef, I think of. Is her belly out? Yeah, this definitely made it. This is a specific kind of kink for a specific kind of person.
Said this is Breddy, and she is a chief baker, and yes, she even got a little bit of pug on her, and her whole thing is she wanted a taste of the commander, aka the player character.
Jesus, that's a little aggressive. That's a little on the nose. Well, shout out for them. That's actually good for them. That's the first, like, again, although all these people try to be inclusive, but this is actually like a pretty well done inclusive thing. I think it's like the right, it's like the, again, we talk about it, it's like the best version of somebody who's a little bit on the heavier side, you know, instead of it being like this person is going to pass away to heart problems instantaneously, which is really, this is rough, you know. And not that those people don't exist. I just don't know if we should always like, yeah, to be like, maybe it doesn't mean that people, or when they make characters like this, are they're aspiring to them, I guess. But anyways, I digress. Let us do this. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, what you see before you, we might do a little bit more memes. Yeah, maybe we'll do one more. What did Bolty say? Did somebody pop? I thought someone said that they posted something. Should we check that out? One thing that someone else showed. Maybe we'll quickly show one of Cat's. God damn, man. I feel like you could still eat it, though. You could bite it and then just slowly let it melt down, you know? Bill, do you have one here? Okay. Damn, man. People would be brutal. Am I the asshole? Because I would be
Syndicate
pissed.
Said in her story event, she literally enjoyed licking your hand, and next stream I show the in-game art for that also got her in one multi I actually summoned for her while cooking food.
Ha! Lucky pull. You appease the weird gods amongst us. I'd be pissed. Yeah, it seems like it was a pretty solid smash. I'm sure he's in on it, but geez. Alright, let's go all the way down the bottom. Where it was Boti's. There it is, Boti. Let's see. You have this one for me. What's this about? Bro, really done when his mom gets home. Beautiful location. Why is he yawning so much? Did he fall through the... What? He left his, the thing? That's not his fault. Or did he not bring... Are you supposed to bring them in? So you leave your thing out in the rain? I feel like that's a human problem. I feel like that's a human problem. Like, if your parents are pissed at that, that's like, yeah. I mean, well, maybe you're supposed to like keep. I don't know how are you supposed to keep an eye on that shit. That's really crazy. It's in share your grin. Share your grin. Let me just be a little careful. I don't know what some sus stuff going on here. Share your grin. What is this? Is it an anime? Looks like it. This might be our video getting claimed, but fuck it. Every time we show any anime anything, it's just wrecked. Could we do clips? Let's do clips. Wait a minute. What? My Hero Academia Vigilant? What is it about? Cute. Okay, the trope that is not dead. All Might has a super fan. Is this the guy who became like the time wizard? Who died? Spoilers.
Bolty said it's a spin-off story.
I don't know if I like that, dude. It's what like I don't hate it, but like I don't know. I'm trying to think what I want at this point. So I want fucking Deku to have the best fucking ending possible, which apparently we kind of got. But anyways, I don't know. To me, I'd rather have them have like I don't want to see All Might again. You know what I mean? Like, is that fucked up? But like, if I do want My Hero to do another thing, I don't want them to have All Might. I want them to like show and build up a new character. Like, let's like go to America. Or better yet, go to like fucking India or some shit. I don't know, and just show like that version, that character's thing, and the same kind of archetype of it. Maybe instead of this time of like the story being about how a quirkless guy quirkless kid existed. Why not show the other perspective of like what happens if you had a quirk that was so fucking overpowered that 90% of your like thing is just trying to rein it in. Like that to me is a little bit more interesting. And also they could have even more fun with the story and be like, okay, instead of the story about becoming a hero, what if it was the classic quote from Skyrim?
Said while it likely won't be seen for a while, the recordings for Wild Hearts starting with the Earthbreaker will be when I started using a personalized reshade to give it more vibrancy and outlines.
Ooh, nice. That'd be really fun. Yeah, that look really nice. Can't wait to see it. Hopefully we'll see it eventually from when we stack up Sunday streams. We'll get to it eventually. But like to me, I think it'd be really neat if they did a thing with My Hero Academia. If they, you know, the quote that exists with Skyrim, which is like, the main dragon is like, what is better? Is it better to be born good or be to choose to be good, even though your nature might be dark? Like I think that'd be a little more interesting if there was a person who had a bunch of power but then made an effort. Maybe it's because he loves his mom. Maybe it's because he loves his dad. Maybe it's because he just has people around him that are special or kind. That even though he has like a power set that makes him, or a quirk, sorry, that makes him really susceptible to evil. Maybe that all adds up to being something that's a little bit more interesting, I guess. And that could be like a fun inverse of what the series is, like a different question, like a different pawn tree, which was, My Hero Academia seems to have done really well with like the story of like if you have an innate ability to be heroic, and all the means that can take you, or how far that can take you. Sorry. So that seems more interesting than to me just seeing like characters that we already see. Like I feel like we're getting to the point where I love My Hero Academia, but I feel like we're getting kind of like a little bit played out, like seeing the same characters again and again and again. But that may be just me, maybe a boomer take. Of course, that doesn't make any sense. Apply to me, but still. It'd just be like but, ladies and gentlemen, we need to decide something before we switch over to Withering Waves and bang out like 10 seconds of story. It's this. So, next week is our back to full week of streaming, baby. So, Monday we're going to be streaming stuff. So, I wanted you guys to stop doing the stupid fucking little meme thing. This is the game that I wanted to ask you guys what we should play. So, we have two games. We have this game called Deep Cuts, which is kind of like a 90s reference. Think like Scary Movie meets video game. Like it's just a series of weird shit and references that I'm probably not going to get, which is why I think it might be fun to play, because some people might understand those references and enlighten us in the stream, and it can be fun playing it. It also looks kind of fun. It's also like kind of a weird, quirky game, it seems like. It's pseudo-puzzly, but I don't know how puzzly. I don't think it's that puzzly. It does have some gun mechanics. It does have like some different like environments, like pseudo-noir levels, and stuff like that. This actually might be the new noir level. Hopefully it's not the whole level. So that's kind of fun. It's some weird shit. Very weird game. Very like fever dream kind of nonsense, which I think could be fun to experience on stream. But then there's also this game, which is a little more serious, a little more grounded. You play as like this alien thing. Stop again with the fucking weird intro meme. The shout out to Wolf in VR, great channel for doing VR stuff. Plays all of them and does walkthroughs. But this is the one I showed you guys beforehand. It's kind of a little more grounded, but it also looks like It's just kind of going to be cool. I don't know how well this will play when it comes to like a VR stream game. Like I think it'd be fun to watch, but I just don't know if it's as fun as the other one because the other one's kind of silly. And I think when we play like really serious games, it can be fun, but not the funnest time, you know? So what do you guys think? A or B? A, the silly game that's like memey and like culture references, or this game which is like a badass alien with fucking amazing abilities, cool combat. Apparently people say it's like an S tier video game in general when it comes to VR, but may make for a little bit less of a stream game as far as the stream fun aspect of it. Thoughts? This is pertinent to us of doing all of the stuff next week. So hopefully somebody has a thought about what you prefer.
Lone Syndicate said, give me the name of the games again.
This one is called Deep Cut, as it's a reference to a lot of like weird shit. And then this one is called Arcan Age. Arcan Age VR. Ooh, and we would have totally done Pathfinder if it was out, but it's not. Or Wayfinder? No, it's Pathfinder. It's something like that. It's like one of my most anticipated VR games. It looks like it's great, but it's not on PC yet, unfortunately. And when most games get delayed from PC, they usually never come out, so it's looking grim. But who knows? Bolty says 1. So Deep Cut, Bolty, this one? It looks like it could be a silly time. I hope it's not too puzzly.
Lone Syndicate said 1.
1?
G Red said 1. I don't like black and white.
Wait, well, not the whole thing is not black and white. Yes. If we go, like, the game starts off, like, where is it? Oh, fuck, we're Deep Cut this. So, like, each level has, like, a style to it. So, like, this is number 6. Oh, fucking what? Oh, no, there's a hard level? Ah! Maybe we don't play this one. Oh. Yeah, so there's, like, an amusement park level. I don't know what the lore exactly is in the game. It does seem like it's just, like, a fever dream. Like, it just keeps pushing you to instance to instance. Red, when you say 1, do you mean Deep Cut? Because that's what that was. 1 was Deep Cut and 2 was the alien game. You play an alien lizard man. Man, he's just really devouring those glizzies. Jesus. I think this one might be fun to play on stream, specifically. Like, I feel like the other one might be good to play also on stream, but I feel like this one is like, it would be a weird. I would get people coming to the stream being like, "What is going on?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, 2 then? Okay, so yeah, Red wants the alien game a little bit. Lizard game, gotcha. Is there a hidden third option? Maybe. Let's see. Gorn isn't out yet, I believe. Yeah, there Gorn 2 actually might. No, it's not out yet. What was it? What is this? Nightclub simulator? Nah, we can't do that. Whisper of the Void. Nah, this one seemed fun as well.
Catman 11234 said Skyrim VR is the hidden third option.
we might display some Skyrim VR. This one to me was really interesting. It's a roguelike game which has like pixel degradation and shit like that, which is kind of cool. It looked like one that's on the bucket list to get. It's bad if he's shown only bow. Bow is cool, but not as cool as the fucking like slashing somebody with a sword and like ripping them in half. There it is. There. So yeah, this one's kind of cool. It's very like sabery. It looks kind of hard to look at a little bit, but you can like block and then just fucking cut them in half like that, which is kind of fun. I feel like it looks cooler, or sorry, it's funner to play.
Said, did you ever play Alex on stream?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Yes, we played through the entire thing, I believe. Yes. We played through the entire thing on stream. It was a good time, Red. we could play through Half-Life Alyx mods. Might be fun too. There's also like a Bioshock mod for Half-Life, which is cool. So you can basically play through the entire campaign. I think of Bioshock but there's no like splicers and shit. I don't know, maybe it's not the whole campaign, but I think it's a lot, like 4 hours or 5 hours of content, which is neat. But I kind of wanted something that we could chip away at. But I don't mind that idea. We could do deep cuts, and if it gets a little bit too stale in the meantime, then we could jump over to Skyrim. I would say we could do both, but I can't spend that much money. I mentioned this all week, but I did budgeting. I budgeted my expenses this whole week, and holy shit, boy, I need to get more money coming in. So I gotta be careful with how much I'm spending. Of course, he did it. Yeah, Brick Chan.
GTID
right.
said Wotherings 2.2 story
Good
was peak red
callback.
exclamation mark. Also, I got my cat to Waveband 1.
Oh, let's go, man. GT, have you, who's the next character you're excited for? Because to me, that's what I'm suffering for. I'm stuck with Withering Waves. I'm not sure if I should go for the new fun elf lady or if I should go, well, we're definitely going for, what's her name? So, but to me, it's after this, whatever her name is, Zani. Definitely go for Zani. But I don't know who, if we should go for the tiny elf girl or the fully grown bard elf girl. It's the age of the elf girl in Weather Waves, man. I'm not doing Zani, so you're going Karth. Who's Karth? Is Karth the bard lady? Okay, so let me see. We have two for this game, Deep Cuts. Cat hasn't said which one he likes more besides the third option, which is the Skyrim VR. But yes. Tiny elf girl, Carthea. Oh, Carthea is my wife. Y'all gotta get your gotcha, Karth. So you're going for Carthea? Yeah. Man, it's tough because do you know any leaks, GT? I thought she was gonna be like 2 elements, but apparently people saying that she's probably gonna be Animo. Or arrow, sorry, wind. She's gonna be wind attribute. I think. Well, I thought you were telling me that one of these characters is gonna be dual elemental, which I thought it would make sense that she'd be dark end. Maybe it makes more sense that she's gonna be Animo and then Havoc, because I thought she was supposed to have 2. Good luck. Being said, I getting can't and okay. The leaks were wrong. They was trying to say she would be she'd have 2 forms. Oh, she's not? Oh, don't do this to me, GT. Is she not gonna have her big fucking tall lady form? I'm a fucking riot. We just get tiny elf? Oh. Are you kidding me? What a bummer. She is Arrow? Okay, so that makes sense. But did she not have another form? I hate it. I know Zani has one. That's some bullshit. Oh my god, what if we've lost? Cat's won for sure, but everyone else is lost. Damn it. Oh man, I really hope.
GTID said she would be 2 forms reread.
Oh, I was trying to say she would be 2 forms. Oh, I thought you were saying the people wouldn't. I got miscombobulated because I asked a question of yes and no, and you answered yes. Gotcha. But I thought it would be no. Okay, good. Okay, so she does have one. Okay, good. Thank you. My dyslexia got me. got me fucked up a lot in my life. But yes. Okay, that's good to know. I have won. We all
Lone
have
Syndicate said I am getting Zani Choco
Me too.
because she was lovely for the few moments we saw, and yes, 2 forms.
Yes, Zani. Yeah, what do you call it? Zani to me. Okay, so that's cool. Do we know? So do you know if what's her name is gonna have 2 elements or no? Do we know if she's gonna have? Is she just gonna be Arrow? Or is she gonna be 2? Because people are pissed at Rover being shitty because Rover is a person who applies poison and then gets a buff later. He can absorb debuffs essentially is what people are saying. So people are assuming that that's gonna be one of the new characters, the new Archon lady. Cat something. I don't know why her name is so far for me to remember. Karth. Let's go say Karth. Carthea. Yeah, Karth. No 2 elements. She's just Arrow. I see, but she changes forms, which is good enough for me. Hopefully, I'm not sure if I want her to be a DPS or a support. It's always nice when they're supports, but I kind of want her to be a DPS. Although that's kind of a hard sell. Do you think they're going to release Zani, who's I think definitely a DPS, and then her, who is a what's it called? Who's also like a DPS, you know? I feel like for her, it wouldn't be surprising if they said like full on, she's everything, you know? She's going to be a little bit DPS oriented. She's going to be a little bit of that. Yeah. Also, we're kind of at a 2-to-1, I believe, for deep cuts. So we'll play deep cuts, and then we might introduce some Skyrim VR into the mix. That sounds like a good time. We'll probably just keep on with it. So that'll be what we do next week, is a whole Skyrim meets... Actually, probably more deep cuts. Let's do that. We'll play deep cuts, and if we ever get a little bit sick of deep cuts, we might want to pause and do some Skyrim. But hopefully predominantly deep cuts, because I would like to make ground in this and kind of like see if we want to complete this on stream, because it does look like something that I think we could kind of get behind, because it looks like it's not the funnest. It looks good. I think it looks great. I think we'll get a kick out of it. So I like that idea. So for the last little bit, let's jump over to Ziz's Endless. Not Zenless, Withering Waves. Sorry, Withering Waves, because I need to wrap up the story.
GTID said the team I'm running now is SK Kant and a Rover.
Yeah, Arrow Rover. I'm enjoying Arrow Rover, man. Like, people saying he's not that much damage, but he feels like he's doing more damage than my, the Dark Scythe Rover, who I had, pretty good stats on him. But maybe I'm just not playing him right. But I don't know, man. Arrow Rover feels more consistent than, the one guy, Dark Rover requires, or Havoc Rover, requires so much, build-up time to, finally then pop, which is just ass. Whereas Arrow Rover, you switch to him, you just immediately start doing pretty good damage, which I quite like. I'm not sure. It's a little... I hear people say, hey, guys, Rover is going to become much better when we start getting constellations. But I feel like that's the wrong way to do it. I feel like it'd be much better if you made Rover, really fucking efficient and good already, and then you gave him, the classic... a constellation buff, which constellations usually give you, copies of a character. So you have 5 copies of a character, you start unlocking their special upgrades, whatever it's called, their constellations. To me, it makes sense that they would add different gameplay loops. So maybe when you get to the very bottom of the skill tree, Rover now becomes a Giga DPS. Arrow Rover becomes DPS. Maybe when you get to the other one, he becomes a support. Maybe he just has a nice AoE effect. Instead, it's just he does a little bit more damage. There's a little bit more erosion, and it's just this is kind of boring. This is not a very you could make this
Lone
exciting.
Syndicate said wave bands.
Wave band. Thank you, Lone. That's exactly what it's called. All right, we're gonna dip our toe into some story. Disgusting. I don't know what it is, man. My gamer subs have not been tasting very good lately. I'm not sure what happened, or if my tongue has just gotten weird, or what has happened. Also, we also got Carthea. Hey, GT, what's your Carthea? What's your Carthea at? For me, I need to do better with critical rate, but my stats are as follows.
GTID said I want to say it's either fusion or electro. Glacio Def gone be last, and quote me on that red exclamation mark.
What was this referring to? Rover's been my main, so I'm excited. What element do you believe we will get next? Oh, I feel like it's gonna be a million years till we get another element, man. I feel like it's gonna be. We have Electro left. We have, what's the other one? Glacio. I'm with you. I feel like Glacio will probably be last. Ooh, Fusion. No, I feel like it'd be Fusion. Yeah. I feel like it'd be Fusion, Glacio, or no, Electro and the Glacio. The same as you. Yeah, same as you.
Catman 11,234 said Cantarella is big boobs jellyfish woman.
That is true.
Cartethia was small perfect cute
right.
elf lady.
Dude, it's the C names. The C names, and we've experienced so much of them, it's just kicking my ass.
Hey?
Bang! 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 One of these, switch to you. Blossom. Boom. Easy 20k. Stop hitting me.
Keep
Ow.
trying.
Is it the outro skill that buffs her damage? So maybe I need to spend more on-field time with her, or does she build her ult fast? Who knows? Do one of these.
Don't run.
Ah, my head.
Keep the dance going.
One of these. Blossom stuff.
Try not
This.
to blink. Oh, this will be fun.
20k. It's not bad. Oh, we can activate her ultra form.
Surge of deep
Bop.
tides.
I will say, I wish they gave a different run animation, because this fucking beautiful girl in a dress who's just walking like a powerhouse, etc. God, look at those legs. Anyways, and then she just starts fucking sprinting like a football player, it just looks weird. I wish she floated or something.
Syndicate said also, Grin, I see what you meant by Cantarella coordinated attacks not doing much.
Okay, so they weren't doing much for you either? Okay, so yes. That's a little bit disappointing with Cantarella. I feel like that was something I was hoping that she'd have a little bit better of a hit, but her coordinated attacks are kind of okay.
call from the abyss.
And it sucks because I do believe there's like an artifact set that makes coordinated attacks do a little bit better damage, but I don't know if it's actually noticeable. You know. Also, I'm not sure if I'm doing the rotation perfectly, but hey, doing my best.
Reborn from ancient roots.
Stop beating the fuck out of Carlotta. Jeez Louise. You're just a reskin of an enemy that already existed. I think it'd be cool if the damage scaled off of like the impact. So like if we're hitting for like 10k, then those squids are gonna be hitting for even more. But I don't think it is work that way. I don't think it does work that way, sorry. I think it is working that way. And dead. I just want to quickly burn my resin on this. Mine is 66 with 300. Golly. Good fucking stats, boyo. Oh, I should have just done the thing. Whatever. Let me know how it goes. To get all visibility to level 10. Yeah, so that's gonna be shitty. That's gonna be shitty.
Who will sink into the depths with me? Oh, this will be fun.
Ooh, that's kind of shitty. You cancel out your activation of that one thing. That's a little
Surge
tough.
of deep tides.
Vitality sower.
And we gotta get that shit kicked out of us. Do one of these.
In the whispers of sirens.
Activate this.
Hey.
Do this.
Sprout of budding seeds.
And last. Okay, I get Rover. Do something. In air attacks, I guess. Rover has a pretty cool attack
Lone
pattern.
Syndicate said thought it was going to be on par with Yinlin or Painter Lady.
Yeah. I don't think it was, though, right? It's like 1,000.
Red said, gonna bounce. Have fun, y'all.
Have fun, Red. Thanks for being here. Hope I can see you on Monday. Take care.
Crimson blossom.
Very nice. Okay. Let us do this. I guess we'll spend our energy. There we go. And this. All right. Now to do story. The last remaining chunk of story, which we have yet to do. Get me out of here. There. Alrighty. Go. Okay. Yeah, I thought we were close to being done, but we were not. Yes, I thought, but no. This. The main story. Take me to the place. Quest. Track. Take me to the location. I hope this gets us a sword, and I hope I'm not wrong and that we're almost done and we can get the sword really quick. But yes. Maybe not. There's Arrow. Oh, there she is. Cantarella. Is it loud enough? Hopefully.
So you haven't forgotten me.
Sorry, everything got so hectic. Should I come immediately? Oh, fuck. Shit, I wonder if it changes if you were just beeliner. Sorry, everything got hectic. I didn't forget about you. No excuses.
I shouldn't put my guest on the spot. Moving on.
It's a little quiet. Let me just fix this by going like this and dropping this down and going like this.
How is Cartathea?
She died, got resurrected. It's a whole thing.
She needs time.
Understandable. Her transition back to mortal life is a
Catman
drastic departure from her
11,234
former
said, when
existence.
Camellia asks me to keep the dance going, but I need at least a 30 minutes cooldown between sessions.
Brutal.
Now, I suppose I should thank you.
What's this?
Is this a sword?
Blood Pact's pledge. A symbol of the unbreakable pact between you and the Phasalia family.
Ooh.
Each head of the family is entitled to one, and only one.
Oh, wow. We're making fast friends.
You vanquished the Threnodian and brought peace at last to the Phasalias.
She's
You
so
should
tall.
have it.
She's so tall.
Consider this a token of gratitude.
Is that the only one?
Also, volume is the anyways.
You wish for more? Or is there something else you'd have me do?
I want your position. What? What? I want you to make peace with Montelli's. I'm still thinking. I want a position. I don't want to be the head of this thing. I don't know. I don't really want anything from you. I guess it would be nice if you made friends with my other people, but yeah, I'm still thinking. I don't know, man. wanting to make peace with our
Lone
friends.
Syndicate said I want peace.
Yeah, probably want peace.
Oh. Do you intend to mediate between the two families?
Any deadly feud I should know about?
Tiresome feuds rarely last between two formidable houses. But alas, there is only so much light. Some branches greedily reach for more than they need, and the forgotten are doomed to wither in the dark. Disagreements lie not only between families, but also within them.
Sounds worse than Calamity, Class, Tass, or Tacit Discord. Fuck me, this game is names and ventures shit.
How fortunate I now find myself with time to fix things.
Also, golly, dude, the thigh squish on full display. Anyways.
If you're interested, I'd gladly teach you how to care for a family such as ours.
Wow. That is nuts. Anyways, crazy statement.
Before I forget, Imperator left a message.
Lone Syndicate said they weigh Cantarella, Carlotta, and Rover can have a tea date.
Well, Cantarella's into something else, apparently. But Rover being fucking an asexual freak or whatever. Anyway, I didn't mean like generally. I'm just meaning him specifically. Anyways.
Tell me. I'm ready.
From this day forth, you are free.
Ooh.
I'll remember that.
Will you tell the others?
I've spent so long preparing for this day. A few more will hardly make a difference.
I'll take my leave then.
More tea before you go.
I feel like Cantarella will be one of these people who drug you, and you wake up and you're like, what the fuck happened last night? And it's a whole thing. Nothing actually did, but she's going to say it did. And now you're on the hook for child support or something. Anyways, I don't know. All right. Dunzo, yes, we got the weapon, baby. Okay, that's really annoying. What if we didn't do this and we did the whole story but didn't get the fucking ending weapon credit? God damn it! Why didn't they just give it to us? But now we have a weapon that's perfectly designed for Arrow Rover, baby.
I will be there for everyone.
And how much you want to bet in the
toward our shared
cutscenes
future,
he's still using the fucking
leaving
basic
the past
iron sword.
behind.
Anyways, but here it is, dude. Look at that. I like it. Is it? Yeah, I like it. I like it. This one, you know, some of them. I think I like Brandt's the most, honestly. But I do enjoy it. It looks clean, nice. It's pretty good, apparently. Oh, shit, maybe we shouldn't give it to him yet. We haven't leveled this motherfucker up. Energy recharge, but basically, Harmonious Verberance provides healing increase on skill activation by 10 seconds or 10% for 6 seconds. But anyways, the cool part about it is when Rover actually uses it, he is given a skill Unbound Flow. Arrow damage dealt by Resonator on
Lone
field is
Syndicate
increased.
said, question Grin, can you send me the thumbnail with Cantarella in it on Discord? Also, that sword is beautiful.
Why do you want the thumbnail? Why? Yeah, I could probably throw it in the art tab. Sure, why not? Yes. Let us. Can we level it up now? You think? I won't have any energy. What does it take to level up? Do we have so much resources in this game? It's wild. Yeah, we have 1,000 of this weapon material. The one thing that I don't have a lot of is the stupid resource it takes to level up some of the stuff. Yeah, let's not equip it just yet, because we're going to be slow level.
McFlufferkin said, makes me wish the weapons unlocked transmog, perhaps as a max level rank reward.
Oh, they do.
But still.
Yeah, there's transmog. Right here. It's just that you have to pick the certain transmogs that you want, unfortunately. I don't think it's every transmog. It's like you have to get a skin, which is a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, it's a little crummy now I think about it. Why not just give us the ability to put anything on? But you can transmog the weapon, but it's just not by anything, unfortunately. That don't make no sense. You can make it a shitty cat mod, I guess, which is just dumb. Yeah. So there is transmog, but they've limited it, which is annoying. What is this also? Oh, events are going away? No, survey. Genshin has conditioned me, even if it's wrong, to think that surveys mean nothing, and it's just a fucking lie to get you engaged in the community. But, are we done? Did we do all the things? This thing down here, claim all. Yes, yes, yes. Is there another event that we could dip our toe into the deep end? Just a little bit? This.
McFlufferkin said I know of the skins. I meant unlocking the appearances of the 5
Oh,
stars
I see. So
after
you, I
investing
wasn't
into
sure if
them.
you knew because I'm not I'm not sure how much you keep up with this game. So yeah, I figured you may not have. That's why I explained it. Oh, also shit, we forgot to do this. Bang and bang. Nice. Slowly building up our reserve for the fabled Shield Maiden. Which, dude, I gotta probably spoil myself and look into what's her name, Zani, because I want to know if she's is going to be like I kind of want her to be like a vicious DPS, because she should be. Unlike all these other characters, she is like, her back is like
Lone
scarred to
Syndicate
shit.
said, easy, I would like to make an improvement, and it spark inspiration.
Ooh, okay. Hell yes, Lone, can't wait to see it. Also, we have that, which we could do. That could be fun. We just burn through some gameplay. Ah, shit! Oh, that sucks ass. So many gems here too, dude. I don't want to play here. I hate this thing. Hazard thing is the worst part about this game. We should be able to clear it though. That's the only good news. I like this one. This one's awesome. This is a very fun thing. I'm excited to do this every week.
McFlufferkin said, whimpering wastes. Sounds like what a woo-wah anti-fan would call the game.
Whimpering? I mean, that's insulting to the fan. Or the anti-fan, whatever you want to call it. Let's do a little bit of this before we close the day. We can put in some background music because this is not going to have anything in it besides, oh, gee, we can turn this down like this. Go here. Ba, 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 ba. All right, hell yes. Should we go in there with Arrow Rover? Nah. Should we go in there with our full-on A-team? Yeah, it's
Lone Syndicate said, quick Spiral Abyss run before we end it.
Hell nah, man. It's a lot. Spiral Abyss is like planning, unfortunately. It is, unfortunately, kind of a snooze fest in that regard. It's a lot of you being like, do I have enough power to do this thing? Ah! Ah, beating the fuck out of me. Oh, god damn it, I didn't do the thing. We have enough to detonate. Man, what's his name wouldn't have had this problem. Gay pirate boy, etc. Oh, I don't have enough for that. Oh, detonate this by this. And we'll do this. And we'll do this. And now everything should die. Reach. Yeah, man, I'm really, like, I don't know, what do you call it? Brant and Chang Li's gameplay is so much more fun. It is responsive and just a good-ass time. Outline or what? This one. All right, what do we want? Heavy attacks do something. Basic attacks do something. I don't know, because we hold charge, but probably basic attacks. Yes. I just don't know if, like, every time you click basic attack or if it's every time you hit with basic attack. Usually it's hit, but who knows. This. Oh, we are ready to rip. I know that. Boom. Boom. Drop a cannon. We'll do this. Might be a waste because no one's near us. It was. Anyways. And. Yeah, 6k per tick. Not too bad. In fact, a little bit of overkill. Also, you hid from me? Say what? Always attack speed. Never not attack speed. Maybe I should increase the sound. It's a little quiet.
McFlufferkin said, hear me out. If they're going to force players to use a trial version of Spectro Rover in the story, at least make an elusive realm so they're not putting their face to the grindstone.
That's not a bad idea. Although, maybe it's me, man, but, like, this is one of those games where I feel like the money is pretty wild. Like, I've never, ever been out of money or any resource besides ones that, like, drop from bosses, because I just, like, that's the thing, I don't spend a lot of time killing enemies in this game, like running around killing enemies in the map, because they're just not, like, not the biggest reason for me to do it. But yeah, quick Spiral Abyss run. Yeah, but I say the quick Spiral Abyss, man, ain't a thing. I gotta plan that shit. I'm not out here eating that good.
Into the endless deep.
Do some of this. Do some of this.
Like frigid death.
Attack a good bit, then this. And then we spin to win. Brrr. Pop one of these just cuz. Also, I won't lie, I have forgotten in a lot of ways how to play that character. I think I did a bad rotation there with one of the abilities. Increase to damage, easiest. No, we want damage dealt. Yeah, always damage dealt. That applies to everything. I mean, so does attack, but not as much, I don't think. Phase that.
This will be fun.
Sometimes that hits really hard, other times not so much. Yeah, man, sometimes this hits for like 12k per tick, and then other times not so much. So, a little unfortunate. I need to get that critical rate up, because that's the inconsistency happening there, I think. Basic attacks restore energy. Yes, that's one of the best ones to actually get early on. I feel like they should have capitalized more on that weird tongue thing. They kind of just have it as a side thing.
Stay behind me. Frozen blockade.
Well, shit. One hit should do it. Now we should be able to Beyblade for victory. It's the only problem with Beyblading is sometimes you're on the same fucking plane as them.
said Elusive Realm Spectro Rover was crazy strong by comparison to how the trial version was in your previous streams. Since they don't allow you to disable trial mode like ZZZ, but that's instanced.
Okay. Elusive Realm Spectral Rover was crazy strong by comparison to how the trial version of the previous stream, since they don't allow you to disable trial mode. Oh yeah, oh I see what you're saying. Yeah, they definitely should have fucking amplified the shit out of Spectral Rover. Yeah, yeah. Instead it felt shitty to play him. Dealing damage with the resonator damage dealt. That stacks up times. Yes, that one. Good. More. I will say it is cool having characters like at least the Chang Li team. I feel impossible to kill with that team, which is pretty fire. Parried. Get wrecked. This. One more. Then activate this. Then this. Then we switch. Do one of these. I will say I haven't been able to complete my sequence, so the build is working. There we go. Build some stacks. Are there any special stones? There we go. Check this out. What happened? What the fuck? I didn't even get to use my pop. Something else popped. I guess. Jesus. Always attack speed. Even though this is a tough sell, but always attack speed. At least when you're playing, what's the name? Oh, you son bitch. I will say, I wish they would give us a new glider at this point. Kind of, again, they're doing some things, but they're not others. And it's kind of weird. This. Again, it always freaks me. Not freaks me out. It's just surprising that they're like. Again, she's like a linebacker when she runs, and I'm just like, it's just odd. Like again, it's like a lady in a dress and high heels, and she's just running like she's fucking gonna rip your dick off. Essentially, some sort of horrible like. This. Boom, boom. One of these, then this, and we'll switch back to. Okay, everything's dead. I can't even play the game, man. This. Base attacks.
Catman 11,234 said, "Is this some sort of rouge-like mode?"
It's basically like a maybe I don't know what a roguelike mode. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Kind of a little bit. It's you just go through instance to instance, see how far you can get, and you can get power. So yes, but you can like retry pretty. I guess yeah, it is roguelike. To me, it feels more like a just like a. I don't know, because it's not very. Maybe it's just like it's not very difficult. And I don't assume, like maybe like roguelikes to me have like this impending fear, where this one is just like so long as you're buying the right buffs, you're eating good, you know. Yeah, it's like I feel like most people like maybe not. Maybe you do need a lucky run. Obtain all of the effects for dream power buffs, but immediately end the lucid dream status. Lucid dream cannot be activated. No. Yeah. Energy's fine. Buy that one.
McFlufferkin said, "I do like how Aero Rover's VFX look. If I had the time, or more importantly the interest, to play more, I'd definitely get that unlocked and probably pair him with Aero Monk Lady."
Yeah, well, man, it's funny because people are bitching about both of them. People saying that Aero, what's her name, is not very, very good. That's something we'll buy. Yeah, we have enough. Fine. But yeah, that's something that they're saying it's not very good. But again, I think it's like it kind of makes sense though that he's like almost. Aero Rover is almost made for the other lady, like the little elf girl, and they have like all these sweet moments, and it makes sense that, and also the fact that she says like she wants to protect him and she wants to be his sword, it all kind of adds up to being this like wholesome, weird thing, you know, to where it kind of makes sense what they're doing with that. Let's do this. Dude, yeah, that's insane. She could also, I forgot, she also has an ability where she can stun enemies, so she's also stunning them. Like she puts them into like the stasis effect. And that also applies to them. That's crazy. I didn't think that would apply to them as well. And we pop with this. Oh, thank God. I was worried that was going to hit. It's one of the only bosses that's kind of a sound bitch. Bang. Easy. Funny thing is, you think it's gonna get harder, it's not, because so long as you're looking around for buffs, you get more buffs than you do everything else. Also, god damn you, I guess I'll burn 2 of these because I fucked up again. Yeah, let me burn one of those, and let me burn one more. Here we go. Let's just burn 1 chunk. What do we want? Basic attacks hitting enemies or causes a fusion explosion. Yes, even though 70% damage is tempting, but that's much better for us. Very nice. The good news is that both of these characters scale off a physical attack, or basic attack. So both these characters benefit from the buffs of swapping between whatever character you want. Also this. Jesus Christ. This.
McFlufferkin said a lot of the meta complaints are relating to the endgame grinds and Tower of Adversity, neither of which I care about, so them being declared bad doesn't deter me.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah. I just think it's like, especially if you're like just getting back into the game, it'd be nice if you could complete everything, get the primo gems, so you can get the characters you maybe want in the future. But I don't know if you've seen any characters that were like, holy shit, I need them, you know, which is fair. Yeah, I'm still waiting for a Scar, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm like, you know, the more time passes, the more I'm like, maybe I don't want Scar. I want Scar. I want Scar. But it's been so long that you're kind of like, well, damn, man. Yeah, see, I can't even play. I can't even switch my characters. Switch to you now. Get that buff. We have enough stacks? Nah. Chill. The only thing I will say that I think is in high demand is a character with high interruption resistance. That's the one character that I think would be really nice. Also, man, like pollution the house. I can't see shit. All right, what do we got?
GTID said trust they are gone make at least 1 on the Sentinel Bearer's mail for the complainers.
Trust they are gonna make at least 1 of the Sentinels mail bearer for. Yeah, I don't mind. To me, I just hope that they make like.
McFlufferkin said Lumi, Kartethia, and maybe the Bard are the ones I'd be interested in returning for.
Yes, those ones are the ones I find stylistically the best for sure. Also, I like the personality. I really like the personality of the Bard. Even though she was only on stream for like a couple hours, it was really, of course, like, what do you call it? Tiny short queen, like god level entity, whatever her name is. She's a must pull for almost everyone. Not even just they did so much heavy lifting in the story that like she's wholesome. Yes, let's do that. Hey, also, bye, Bolty. Thanks so much for stopping by. Take care, buddy. Let's see. Cost HP. No. Defeat enemy. Yeah, stacks. Yeah, more health. Absolutely. The more time we kill enemies, the more stuff we get. What the fuck is that name? That seemed like an error. Weird message.
Oh, this will be fun.
Beat the shit out of some stuff real quick. Get some stacks. Go into weird mode. Do this. Pop with this. Do a bunch of these to build up some stacks for the road. Do this. Do this.
Shackles be gone.
Go and build up our intro skill. Have that detonate. Do this. Go to here. Oh boy!
McFlufferkin said oh, and you who are however her name's spelled, but she's also 4-star like Lumi, no?
Which one? I don't think so. I think that's one complaint that people do have for this game, which is quite apparent, which is a lack of 4 stars, competent 4 stars, but I don't think she is. She is not, the elf, the bard lady is not a person, I believe. Who is it? Yon? Who? Yeah, I don't think so. I think she's a full 5-star, unless I'm wrong, but I think that's right. Ooh, basic attack, energy, yes. And this one, what do we got? Lucid Dream cannot be activated, no. Defeating enemies is not terrible. No, we'll do this, defeating enemies. Good. Ooh, this is finally a challenge. Or not a challenge, but something.
Try not to blink.
This is enough to do this. We'll switch. Pop, this. Oh, I fucked that up. There.
McFlufferkin said the blue shorty. I think she was Godlets in Glacio.
Huh. There, finally got the damn thing going. Oh, come on. Didn't time that right. I didn't get the ultra buff. Yeah, this is weird. We weren't building all the stacks we needed, but it's okay. We have so many weird passive buffs that are stacking up melee damage and they detonate all at once. That usually works out. Yeah. We have like a weird like a spectral buff that's good, like just dropping bombs. I I think so, Fluff. That's the small blue lady. Oh, sorry. Yeah, her. Sorry. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. So she's the only like 4-star that they've released in the last little bit. But people say good things. Also, we're almost done. Wow. We burned through this motherfucker fast. Ooh. When the Time Raider status dealing basic damage adds directing to the thing, consuming energy applies once every couple seconds. Is that better than just base damage increase? I think so. I think anything that usually scales off of basic attack detonation usually has a weird pretext.
Feel the tide. Oh, this will be fun. Cauldron, who will sink into the depths with me? To sunken depths, engulfed.
That.
By seas, venom.
Everyone's dead. Fuck. It's funny because you guys are like, ooh, Grin, you killing it. No, buddy, this is the game, which is, it's fun. It's trying to have fun. The other one is ass. The other one is like, guess what? Here's an enemy with 1 billion health. The good news is you get most of the gems. Like, it's not too unfair. It's just kind of a little shit. Dreams duration, that increases duration by that, but increases attack by 70. That's fine. Most things die that fast, so not the end of the world. Give me this. Hello, what do you got for me? We should be... who is this? Energy, time, creation, status. Sure, one more second on that. All right, this. Ooh. Lucid Dream cannot be activated again. No. Current fixed. Maybe. We're at the end, so we might want to do that. Critical rate. Increased attack by 1 for every 1 HP lost. No. Damage dealt, attack percent, max HP for this stacks with yes. Buy that. We don't do heavy attack damage, that's pointless. The current attack of all team members is doubled, but it's fixed. Yeah, I think this is the last thing we got, so we might as well just say fuck it and get that. Obtain all of the effects and Dreamscape power effects, but immediately end the Lucid Dream status. Let's leave it. We're good. We're ending with a lot of money, but whatever. We probably could have got the critical rate stuff. Anyways.
Caution is advised.
Oh, this will be fun. So,
do this, then this, then this, then pop, then this.
Stay behind me. Lotus pervade.
So many weird things you gotta apply. I don't think I got my status bar, my intro skill, damn it. Damn you. Brr. Also, it's like I can't see fuck all. Oh, thank God that hit. Dude, how much did that hit for? Oh, I don't know. But damn. Damn. I say that's as much as that is I complain about. That's also kind of sick. Like that's also my favorite thing when you have like 17 things detonating at once. And you're like, I can't see anything. It is a curse as much as it is a bonus. I think that's it, right? Yeah, we did. We burned it. Yeah, nice, easy breezy. Those are really easy to bang out. I think it's 6K. I'm actually not sure. I think we maybe just beat that. That's one thing. It's like your daily or weekly thing to do. Let's see. Did we get that done? This. Appreciate you guys let me bang that out real quick. Yeah, it's 6K. So we basically get everything, though. We get some gems, 4K. Some jams. Yeah, I think we got max constant. Yeah, we only have 1 left. It's maybe not even worth doing that. But this son bitch is what I'm going to have to do on my time. It sucks. I'll probably have to do that tonight. But we do have some events that we'll do probably later. I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. This is the character Fluff was talking about, by the way. I'm not sure if we have max constellations. I think we did get a lot of her, though. Where the fuck is my character that resident? I don't have her leveled. This little lady. How many constellations? Maybe I only got 1 of you. Maybe my brain is mutated and broken. And yes, I only got 1 of you. Never mind. I only got the 1. But she's kind of neat. She's like a weird character that kind of bases around. Like, again, shout out to the devs for like, they don't make 4 stars very often, but when they do, they're pretty fucking varied. Like, she gives you random buffs based on when you play her. So pretty neat. The one character I don't think I have leveled up to max tier is this guy still, which is a shame because it's the one I kind of like the most.
Lone Syndicate said just wrapping up the story on my end in absolute fucking cinema.
Absolute cinema. Am I right? I agree with you. But gang, thank you so much for spending time with me this week. I appreciate you letting me sink into one of the games I personally play a lot of my time, even though I know it's not everyone's cup of tea necessarily. Although I think the story can kind of be anyone's cup of tea as long as you like buy in, which is fun. Oh, my body. But tomorrow I will be not tomorrow, so tomorrow's Sunday. On Monday, we will start with our journey of doing a bunch of VR. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's definitely going to be a little out there and weird, the game that we're probably picking. It's on it. We'll probably fill in the gap with something else. I'm not tag the video's thumbnails because it's so much extra work for me to kind of like put something else in there. It's much easier for me to just have one direction to focus on. So we'll probably do that. But yeah, we'll probably really pause it and maybe like do something else, like react to some stuff, maybe play some Withering, probably play some Z's, because it would be fun to jump into to Trigger and just to play her a little bit, and probably be upset because we don't have we're not going for her, even though she looks so fun, especially the way she has like so much assist power is insane.
McFlufferkin said I'd be satisfied casually clearing the game with Lumi and Yoo-Hoo, especially since I already have Jinzi.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. Jinshi is still one of like the S rank characters. You're not interested in Zani at all, Fluff? Because especially like Zani, it's funny because I always associate you with like a tanker, and she has like a big ass shield, and her back is like scarred and shit, and she looks like a battle hardened warrior. I think you also found her voice not disagreeable. So I'm curious if you're interested in that character as well or no. I'm pretty excited, especially, again, I think it'd be surprising if they made her not a ravenous, like, selfish DPS. Maybe not selfish, but like
Lone Syndicate said we need to watch Trigger character demo too.
Yes. When that happens, we'll definitely do that too, for sure. When is it gonna be out? Is it the same day as it always is, which is Wednesday? So like it's Tuesday night for you guys, but it's Wednesday night or Wednesday day that we usually stream it and do some ZZZ. So we might do it on Wednesday. Yeah. We shall see. But ladies and gentlemen, hopefully I can see you once again on Monday. Enjoy your Sunday. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me so much. You guys are nothing but lovely. Hopefully you guys have a productive week as well. Hopefully you rest up as well. And thank you kindly for talking with me so much about random shit this stream. It was so much fun. And this is one of those streams I enjoyed, that all the topics we went to. It's fun to learn about you guys and learn about all the things that we talked about. Get some insights.
Said you still have Sambi's story and the rest of the epilogue story. I'll need to see Zani's kit and playstyle, as otherwise her appearance isn't the primary appeal for me.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, see their kit and all that stuff. But yes, and we'll probably stream some Zenless, and yeah, we might wrap up a lot of that stuff. I still think we probably should. Well, maybe that'll be the maybe we'll stream Wednesday regardless. Zenless, because it'd be a nice break from VR, because it's probably my body's gonna be tired, you know. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully I can see you once again. Thank you kindly for your time. Enjoy the rest of your night and day or morning, and goodbye for now, my friends. Also, this video on the My Palace Smash channel, if you want to see that.